Oh, never mind. I'm unmuted. I figured it out. I figured it out. I caught it early this time, unlike the last time. Oh god, yeah, dude. This should be a good one. This should be a good one. Doomy, what up, baby? Yeah, man, dude. This is. I'm telling you right now, man. This is going to be a massive interview that we're going to be doing because for some people that may or may not know, um, NTS for a very long time was just always giving me the middle finger. And I talked about this in yesterday's live stream where they just, again, it was like I'd reach out to Ma, who's one of the R5s, and I'd ask him, I'd ask him some questions here or there that are related to the game, and the responses I always got back was just a giant fu. And people know this because I would talk about this in some of the videos I would put out when I'd reach out to him or I'd reach out to NTS if I was reaching out to multiple alliances. They just never gave me the time of day, right? And now I have finally had an opportunity to, I don't know if I want to say replenish, remend some of those relationships. And Mark, who I believe is the co-R5 or might be the main R5 and then Muzz co-R5, however they have that set up, he was willing to come on and to chat with us. So yeah, I'm going to be getting him in here in a few. We're just going through and doing our promos right now. So again, some of you might be like, all right, I'm going to talk about a lot, man. There's stuff I'm going to ask Mark about NTS. Some stuff that, again, might get a little spicy, but like these, I think, are fair questions just about the alliance, about the kingdom, also what's going on in their KvK, past history that has happened there, things that I think I am incredibly interested to find out about how they view some of the things that have happened, how they view how the community has viewed them, and kind of what their plans are, for not only the present but also for the future. Because 49 is to me is such a phenomenal story of kind of being this undersized kingdom early on and kind of underrated as well. There really weren't a lot of people that had any kind of, I would say, high expectations of them, and for them to just kind of persevere through all the stuff that was happening, all the noise around them, and come out to basically be, what some considered, maybe a season or two ago, right, as the top fighting kingdom in the game, and obviously still put them amongst the top fighters. Yeah, man, this is absolutely a phenomenal opportunity for me to sit down and talk with Mark. So, and I figured, hey, man, why not do it live? So, yeah, I'm just gonna finish some promos real quick, and then, like I said, we'll go ahead and we will get Mark in here. Doom says catching up on the other interviews from yesterday. So I will be releasing them individually, if that helps. So we are going to go through, and I've already uploaded them as well. I'm going to be, I'm just cutting them up right now. So I'll probably finish doing that whenever we wrap up for the day. And then I just have to wait for the thumbnails to come in from my guy. So yeah, but again, I already have all the stuff uploaded for the 4 interviews we did yesterday. I'll start cutting them up, and like I said, I'll be releasing them kind of each day. I just gotta wait for my guy to get me. I just gotta wait for him to get me the thumbnails, and then we'll be all set. Whoa, here we go. All right. Let's switch this up real quick if we can. Oh no, I want this one. Lovely. Yeah, so I think they're in. Let me see which one they're in real quick. And then, like I said, we'll be getting Mark in here in a moment. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, good. I just want to give some peeps an opportunity to come in first before we start. That's all. So we can watch a small little skirmish real quick. Let me see what I got here. Sweet. Then we'll go to 5. You know, right? Just says, all right, I'll wait. Give me something to do tomorrow. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Catalina, what's up? Hey, welcome, welcome. Too loose for the goose, my boy. I want to know what's up with the Diplo and our KvK. Yeah, I'll definitely ask and talk to Mark about that as well, for sure. All right, let me. Yeah. Yeah, man, should be good. Should be good. So yeah, we're just finishing up some in-game promo real quick, and then hopefully we'll begin marketing in a few minutes. So I got him on standby. He's ready to go for NTS. So then we'll be chatting for a little bit here, and then there's some other stuff that we're going to cover today too as well that has been floating around. Man, there's been apparently there have been other bans that have been going down in other kingdoms that I've been hearing about. And I don't know, man. I talked about it in the video I just put out a little while ago, but dude, it feels like it's Bangate right now. And it's like the Wild West out there, fam. And like some of the people that have been reaching out to me ever since I covered the Lion, ever since we had that massive stream yesterday covering the Lion situation, other people have been reaching out to me in DMs about their situations in their kingdoms for player bans that have been issued out to them, and them just wondering what the heck is happening, like what is going on. So like I said, man, we will definitely be talking about some of those as well. And again, maybe even again, if we're able to maybe get some people on from some of those other kingdoms and situations that have been happening and talk. But yeah, man, this is going to be a good one. I'm really excited for this interview. I cannot wait. And like I said, for anyone that's hanging out with us while we're talking to Mark, I'll open some questions up at the end as well. Because like I said, man, I just think NTS is such a fascinating alliance. They have such a unique and kind of underdog story in the game. And it's nice to be able to have a conversation with one of the leads there, especially because Mark's been there for a very long time. So, Reaper, what's up, man? I'm liking this type of content. Interviews are great for me to listen to while I drive. Yeah, man. No, I appreciate that. And like I said, I love the fact that we're able to do it live. You know, we had a fantastic day yesterday with a lot of people that tuned in to the one we did where we had those 3 interviews lined up. Doom's in the chat. Doom was one of the people we had a chance to talk to. Captain Jack from POTC, that was an awesome interview. And then Wahid, you know, she had a lot to say. Absolutely. But again, all 3 of them I thought were great. And, you know, we basically spanned that out around 3 hours worth of time. So again, I thought it was absolutely fantastic for what we were able to do yesterday, and the fact that people were willing to tune in to that kind of content, especially because it doesn't absolutely require for you to be watching the screen. If that, again, right, while you're driving, you can kind of like live podcast listen to us, right? We're just basically a radio show at times for those of you that are mobile. All right, I'm almost done here. Mm-hmm. $47, yeah, man. Chi-Chi's on top. Butter, what's up? Welcome, welcome. No, Doom says I like the interviews, but maybe we try to do it once a week So you do a special interview with a guest. That actually isn't a bad idea, to be honest. Now, again, I would have to be really on top of my managerial game, logistical and scheduling, for that to happen. To be fair, the reason I wanted, and I've spoke about this before, the reason I wanted to do these now was because the KvK is going on, right? And part of what I wanted to touch on was what's happening within the KvK while the KvK is happening, right? So kind of mid KvK. That was where it's, once a week lining up. Because the thing is, we've had it, I think one of the great things that I love to do, because I've been playing these games for so long in the genre, I love talking to just interesting people. I like talking to leads. I like talking to people that, maybe run certain departments, people that have unique experiences playing, because there's just so much that goes into kingdom builders. And I love to be able to showcase that. I mean, a great example, yesterday we're talking with Captain Jack from POTC, and what was he saying? He's like, dude, I'm putting in like, 13 hours a day. He even said upwards of, like 16, 18 hours, right? When it was really intense. So, it's just, again, man, there's a lot that goes into stuff, a lot that goes into these games and, into the day-to-day player experience. And so for me, I love talking about those things. I think that area of the game is completely fascinating. And there's a lot that we can learn from it, right? Regardless of what position you have in your alliance, right? Or outside of one. All right, I'm getting Mark here in a moment. I'm just wrapping up right now. 43, I think. Okay, awesome. So we are stuck now. I'm going to go ahead and invite him in. Let me just see, where did I end on? I think I ended on 43, right? All right, cool. All right, let me go ahead and get Mark in. Okay, going to call you. All right, sweet, man. Welcome, guys. So I'm going to get Mark in here in a moment. Let me switch. And actually, I think we're maybe okay to hang out here where we are. Ari, what's up? Welcome. I love Mark. Yeah, man. No, dude, Mark's, like I said, man, I've only had good conversations with Mark, especially since the global versus China event that we did. That was super fun. So yeah, 47. Okay, great. Let me just make sure I got his stuff up here so I can show some stats if we need to. Okay, awesome. Here we are. And 43. Oh yeah, I guess I could just leave that. You know what? Why don't we just switch that up? We're already here. Let me do this. Okay, cool. Let's go like this. This will help. And then we'll go boom. No, I want this one. Yeah. Give me that love. Give me that love. All right, good. Where's Mark? Dude, where am I? Oh my God, no. I thought I was in the right kingdom. I'm in 43. No, I'm sorry, Mark. Hang on. Let me get there. Let me get there. All right, hold on. Let me call Mark though. All right, let me turn off my jam so I don't have to do anything here. All right, Mark, what's up?
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you good, loud and clear.
Great. Hi all.
Welcome. Oh man, I feel, Mark, I feel like this has been a long time coming. I hope.
I don't know.
I was telling a funny story, I thought, to the stream just before you joined, about how, our relationship between myself and NTS has kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster. In the beginning, obviously everything I felt at that time was really on good terms. And, then once the whole, people were coming out and making those cheating allegations, right, about NTS in the past, and, things kind of turned a little bit. And then ever since we did that global event between global versus China, you know, and I had a chance to, you know, reconnect a little bit with you, and I remember that one time you and Ma came into the VC on the COD Discord,
Yeah,
and we talked a little bit
yeah.
there. I felt like, you know, finally what it feels like back on decentish terms. You can correct me if I'm right or wrong on that.
No, I think you're quite right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, thank
I,
you. That helps out a little bit. Hopefully, everyone can hear Mark. Okay. I know he might sound a little low on my end. Um, but yeah, if it helps, Mark, you are more than welcome to put the microphone in your mouth, if that may help, or just closer, just depending what you're using. I just don't know if it might be coming through a little soft. But Mark, can you go ahead? Because there's a lot I want to talk about. And first and foremost, I want to say I really appreciate the time you're taking with me today, Mark, because to me, I think NTS has one of the most fascinating stories in the game with how you all started, with the believe universally as one of the best fighting kingdoms in the game, one of the strongest kingdoms in the game, and once upon a time, people, and even if not even now, still loosely in conversations for the best fighting kingdom in the game. But can you, before we get all to that, because there's a lot I want to touch on, can you introduce yourself? Can you say who you are? How long have you been in NTS? Were you always a leader? And just give us a little bit of an overview on you and NTS, if you can, please.
yes, sure. Yeah, I will speak briefly. Yeah, but anyway, we have a quite longer video about the history of NTS Alliance on YouTube of Minzra. Yeah. Um, it was made somewhere in autumn, November or October, something like this. It's called like NTS Who They Are, made in English language. Yeah, so with help of AI interpreter, yeah, voice interpreter. So here you can see watch a longer version, but if speak briefly, NTS Alliance has a history of 25 years old. Yeah, and for sure, I'm not the creator of this community, of this alliance. It was created by Minzra, yeah, who is now not playing in CallofDragons, yeah, because of some real life issues. He has a pause in his gaming career in CallofDragons. He hopes that he will come back in approximately November, December, but for now, he's not playing, yeah? And I'm in NTS, the whole CallofDragons game, and started playing in NTS in the previous game. Yeah, it was Infinite Galaxy about 4 years ago, something like that,
Okay.
3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, and first of all, we met with Much, yeah, and starts communicating with him. Much is a short name of Minzra. In not in the previous game, but the previous of the previous game, about 8 years ago. It was Vikings, not Vikings, which many playing is now, yeah, but Vikings War of Clans.
I
There
remember.
was, yes, there is such a game. Yeah, so we in that game we were opponents. Yeah, I was the leader of my alliance, he was the leader of NTS. We started communicating, and in next his project he needed an English speaking player, yeah, the player who can and at the same time speak English and Russian, yeah, so to understand his ideas and being able to explain them to other players who doesn't understand English at all. Yeah, and I started just being an interpreter for him. And step by step, very fastly to be honest, became just a co-leader of him, started organizing events, yeah, so making all administration part of alliances, so writing messages, explaining, working with builds, yeah, like we're calling them now here in this game, like talents, skills, heroes, and so on, artifacts. In the Infinite Galaxy it was another names, but still the same system, yeah. So and then we finished playing that game because we won everybody. It became boring for us, and at this moment we saw that new game will be is announced already, yeah, and we decided to go here with our team from Infinite Galaxy. Not with all, of course, somebody left, somebody no, but we came here in this game and started playing together. So I was his core leader for about 1.5 years, and in previous summer, he decided that I need to become the leader because he needs to focus on real life more because of some issues which happened. He continued playing for some time, but about 3-4 months ago, he stopped playing at all. Yeah, and just will come back maybe in November, December, as I have said. So from this moment, I'm the full leader of NTS Alliance, NTS community.
Okay. Okay. No, no, no. Thank you
Mm.
so much, Mark, for the intro there. I guess for me, one of the things, the KvK group that you're playing in right now, is the third strongest group currently, and I'd love to ask because you guys are in 4036, and in this particular group, there is again a lot of other big names aside from yours that are also playing. Just to name some, right? You guys have 219, which is You got 68, which is GG. 30 NA. You have 259, which is Ash, and 276 is KOV. Now, I'd love to know because I remember when I was asking around for what the matchups were, people were telling me initially that nothing had been decided at that time, and it was expected to be a free for all, uh, possibly up until after Zone Two. So I'm curious if can you shed some light on us on if there are
Yeah,
any matchups or if there is a matchup that has been decided at the moment, or if it is basically still a free for all until something changes.
yeah, for sure. I can explain everything from the very beginning. Yeah, you know that the key problem in our exact division was that all of us, all the participants, all servers, were not sure about our real battle power. Yeah. So yes, we saw the numbers of players, number of whales, krakens, middle players, free-to-play players. Yeah, like all servers make this kind of analysis. Yeah, and but this doesn't tell us anything. Yeah, it were just numbers. We all have changed a lot during the previous season and during the pause between seasons, right? So real battle power of us, nobody hadn't understood. So discussions and discussions, yeah, we all can tell a lot about us, how great we are, or on opposite, how weak we are, but it won't help us to decide which matchup, yeah, which allies should be created to make a real interesting KvK. All agreed that the main thing we want, yeah, is to fight. Fights, and again fights. Have an interesting KvK. And from all our experience, yeah, from really all our experience in this game, and not only in this game, yeah, um, when we tried to make balanced unions from the very beginning, there were no successful attempts. Yeah, all the times one side became much stronger than another, and we received one of two options. Yeah, first option is fun for a few days in just in final zone. Yeah, and no fun in previous zones because it were boring. And second option, some fun in zones before the final for some days, and no fun in final zone at all. Yeah, that's why I wrote other leaders, our diplomats here, all who were in these chats of discussing the season, that guys, let's try to come to this problem from another side. Yeah, let's try to have FFA. Yeah, or when all fights all honestly, yeah, without any agreements in first battling zone, yeah, which is called zone 2, and for a few days in second battling zone, yeah, just for necro, yeah, to understand real power of our alliances, of all our alliances and servers which are in our division. And after this, yeah, after this, when we see this, we will be able to create a really interesting and balanced KvK matchup. Yeah, because yeah, we can see that, for example, NA are very big, yeah, quite big, yeah, bigger at least than MM. But if we look at the map of the zone 2, we see that an A occupies only 1/4 part of the map, yeah, whereas, yeah, they control the one of the behemoths, yeah, that's why we can say that it is a draw. From one point of view, from other points of view, others can say that they controls 3 spires and three out of 4 parts of this zone, yeah. GG and KoV. Also, nobody could understood what their real battling power is, and so on, yeah. Other servers agreed, yeah, for this. So we decided that, yeah, we will play fully FFA first battling zone, 1 against 1, what map has given to us, and few days FFA in the second battling zone. Then we have enough time just again to sit down, yeah, and discuss what alliances should be in each side, yeah, and how in such case to receive a really interesting and funny KvK till the end of this season. For now, I can say that NTS receiving enough pleasure, probably maximum of possible amount of pleasure of this KvK. ASH alliance showed good activity, good organization, good battle experience. So we had about 3 days of very active non-stop war, yeah, at night, at day, even though it was working days for us. So we didn't take any days off from work, yeah. So wasn't easy for us to play during the day. They even counter-push us at some moments using this fact, but later when we received our prime and the whole night we continued our pushes, and now we took all this zone. But yeah, it was quite fun. Respect to ASH, they behaved and participated really well. So we expected the same in the next battling zone against KOV, yeah, and hope also will have some fun. About matchups till the end of the season, I don't know if you have received this information or don't, yeah, because I don't have enough time to focus at the same time at my alliance, because I need to solve a lot of issues and so on, plus real life work and so on. So I'm not active at all in global Discord. I don't have time to watch other streams and so on. So I don't know what came from our closed diplomacy channel till diplomacy server even.
Understood. Okay. So what you're
Yeah,
saying as
yeah,
of now is that
yeah,
there are still no allies determined, but you will all start having conversations again, or maybe you already have started having conversations because you wanted to wait to see how everyone's zone 2 performance was going to play out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it is quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting question. Because yes, I knew that other alliances started communicating between each other, yeah, and this even created some, maybe it can be called drama, yeah, but anyway, NTS stays on our position. Yeah, we don't have any allies for now till the final zone. Even though our allies have, not all but partly, have already decided that it should be GG plus NA plus ASH against NTS plus MM plus KOV. Yeah, it
Okay.
happened because some problems happened between GG and KOV, yeah, but I'm not here to discuss their current behavior and so on. So you can invite their leaders and so on um, to discuss it in a more accurate, in a more detailed way. Yeah, I saw some screenshots, I saw some, but I don't know if it's all or not all. So I'm here not to discuss them. I'm here. I can speak only from NTS Alliance.
Understood. Understood. Okay. So as of now, are you able to speak to have team discussions or who to team up with or who to ally with? Are those ongoing at the moment, or is everyone paused for now until Zone 3?
I think it will finally decide is only after the beginning of Zone 3.
Okay.
Yeah, as I have said, Zone 3, 2, 3 days of Zone 3, because anyway, final decision cannot be made without our agreement. Yeah, because for now we didn't agree. Yeah,
Okay.
for now I just several days ago again wrote that NTS will continue moving like we are moving. Yeah, and 2, 3 days after the Zone 3, we will confirm, yeah, if we agree with their variant GG plus NA plus SAH against other 3 servers, or disagree, yeah. And in such case, of course, we will explain why we disagree, give better options from our point of view, and in such case, we will decide. So
Okay.
NTS. And it's an official position of NTS in any season. Yeah, NTS is ready to cooperate with any alliance. Yeah, doesn't matter if we were opponents or allies in the previous seasons. Yeah, so we try not to make really real enemies for us. Yeah, we were opponents in the previous season, but we can be allies in the next. No problems. Yeah.
Okay. No, understood. What I will
Yeah.
say is, I actually think that that can be a good way of going about figuring which kingdoms can be teamed up and allied with who. We have seen a couple iterations of this happening in, I believe, at least two other KvKs, with the exception being that they already decided on their teams, but they opted for two different matchups. So in the first half for Zone 2 and Zone 3, they're treating it more like a free for all. But then once Final Zone opens, then they will do a 3v3 team for
Yeah.
fair and balanced play, for so that way everyone can participate in the FZ, and they also get the most balanced matchup that they can find. And I
Yeah.
thought this was an interesting way of approaching it, because it eliminates you having to worry about starting position for the most part. Because if you're doing a free for all up until Zone 2, Zone 3, then you're just going to fight who's ever obviously next to you, and whoever wants to give you some action and who wants to fight against you. But then once you get to the final zone, because everyone connects there, then you can decide on, okay, well, now we don't need to worry about starting position. Let's just figure out what is the most balanced matchup. So again, if that's something that ends up happening with you guys there in 4036, and you going off of the Zone 2 and Zone 3 performances to determine what your matchups will be, I actually think that that's an okay way of doing it, because then you get to gauge somewhat of their, I guess, maybe not full strength, because that would require that would require you absolutely knowing that each kingdom is 100% going all out. But it can at least give you a gauge, if you will, and a little bit of an insight. And so, yeah, again, I like that approach, just because it is a little bit different than what some of the other groups are doing compared to your team or to your group.
Yeah, for sure. The key thing is that we want just to have a lot of fights. We are
Yeah.
quite tired of KvKs where we rested half of the season and then just
Yeah.
fight for several days.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Very much agreed. Um, if I can, I want to segue a little bit here, because I do want to ask you a little bit more about the KvK. I want to take us to, I want to go in and do a little bit of a history switch here for NTS. I'm very curious to know. This is something I've always wanted to ask, which is when, because from my understanding, you were there when the cheating allegations were being said, right? Multiple seasons ago, when people were live streaming the KvK you guys were in, there was videos that were out. I had covered it a couple times. I guess what I would like to ask you about that time is, what, from the NTS perspective, when those claims, when those things started coming out and people were talking about that and they were throwing those accusations out there, right? Obviously with no proof, but they were making these statements. What was the mentality from NTS on how you all viewed that? Was it just hilarious? Was it just ridiculous? Did it put any pressure on the alliance to have to go out there and perform a certain way? I'm very curious on what were some of those early impressions from you and or other members in NTS when those allegations were being made, when people were making those claims.
Yeah, I see. You know, we have some rules in NTS. We have changed them a little bit in this season. So, for example, we are not writing in the global chats. Yeah, in this season we allowed
Yeah.
our people to write in global, but politely, of course, without any insults, without anything, any breaking borders. So in that time we had this rule. So yeah, probably nobody understood what is our reaction, what have we felt, um, and why we continue being in silence. Yeah. So first days we were laughing from this for sure, because it wasn't that time when you started posting these videos. It wasn't that moment when everything has started. It started much earlier from some players of GG, half a year before these videos and so on. Mm, then we just became tired, just ignored. Then, of course, we became a little bit angry because it was stupid. It was really stupid. And when they started massively, we came to developers, yeah, invited them to our Discord, invited them to our alliance, asked them to join, explain them how we are playing, asked them to participate in our voice channel while we are fighting, yeah, made some test battles for them, yeah, like divided into several teams and fight against each other to show what is happening. Plus, of course, real battles against our opponents and so on, where they continued receiving these I don't know how to call them, insults of
Yes.
our opponents, that we are bad players, that we are cheaters, and so on. And finally, after many days of checks, many battles, many participation in Discord, looking through our Discord, so we gave them admin rights so that they see all channels we have in our Discord. So they saw that having 150 players in Alliance, we have 130 players in Discord voice following commands at the same time. We explained them the details of our tactics, which we are not explaining to anyone. Yeah. So
Oh,
we did it,
interesting.
and
So,
they
so you're
finally.
confirming and saying that you
Yeah,
actually
we,
did
we
have some devs that joined your Discord and you engaged with them.
yes,
Oh,
yes, they
wow.
joined our Discord. Yeah, they joined our Discord. We really asked them to make the full investigation. If they are not sure in us, they joined, and after this they said, guys, everything is good, you're not cheaters at all, so play like you want. Yeah, we see that all those who wrote against you, they just, I don't know, haters, I don't remember what word they
Yeah.
have used. Yeah, just yeah, we asked them to announce it officially, yeah, but they were not ready to do this, yeah. But anyway, they have checked us fully from all sides, and we understood that this portion of not believing in us, at least from official side, has finished. Yeah,
Okay.
still we are ready. They can again write us, yeah, write me directly. They have my contacts. Again, join Discord. Again, check any time they want. Yeah, so still we are fully free, fully open. What we felt, nothing good we have felt, but again we understood that it's just a way how to fight against us. So if you cannot fight us in on the battlefield, you will try to fight us in public social media and so on. Because NTS isn't so public, yeah, so publicity isn't our the strongest side. Still, that's one of the reasons I agreed uh, to come to this interview with you, so that to show that we are fully open. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And like I said, hearing you explain the I don't want to. Obviously, it's not like a gag order, but the respect and the loyalty, the understanding that members within NTS have because they believe in the group, to where everyone, because I mean, you hit the nail on the head in that the reason that was one of the reasons I did want to ask the question was because there has always felt like the NTS communication was always very tight lipped, right? Very internal, very closed, if you will, to hearing any opinions, any thoughts from members. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people in NTS I know that chat in on the COD Discord, but it's not as though you hear about what's happening. It's not as though anyone really talks about what's happening internally. So to be able to hear from you on, which to me is wild, that that some any even if it was just one person from the dev team that you were saying joined your Discord, you went above and beyond to provide your due diligence and make an effort in saying, listen, come into our Discord, join our VCs when we're in war, listen to us, see what we're doing. If we're screen sharing, watch that. If you need to run any tests while we're fighting, do that. The fact that you and the team seemingly went above and beyond to be very forthright, and that devs actually came in, because again, this was like a really big, it was a big conversation at that time in the game where a lot of people were talking about it, as I had mentioned before, myself included. And I just find that's very interesting in that, because I even when the accusations came out about GG before this, you may recall when NA or TA/NA were making those, it was TA, but they were making the accusations against GG. I had never heard from anyone in GG where they said, oh yeah, we spoke to a dev, or devs joined our Discord and went over these things. Now, respectfully, the NTS situation and the allegations that were made against 49 and NTS were much bigger, and they were louder than that of GG, because in the GG situation, there was a handful of players comparatively to what people were making it seem like was up to the whole alliance of NTS. So I think that is awesome to hear, and pretty heartwarming from what you're saying, with the fact that the dev team cared, whether you want to say enough or they cared about the situation, to actually reach out to you as a community member and to your team, uh to again, whether that was them reaching out, or you inviting them and then they reached out. I think that was the way you made it seem, was you invited them and then they had reached out and came in. But the fact that they had sent someone, we had never heard of a situation like that happening before. So if anything, my hat is off to you guys for going through that, being willing to have them come in, and then you saying them finding that there was absolutely nothing that you guys were doing that was even close to being in the realm of cheating.
Yeah, it was. I spent about 5 days non-stop conversation with them.
Okay.
Yeah, they have asked us for a lot of different things, including, for example, making some live streaming in Discord
Mm.
and on YouTube. So also, we opened Windows Task Manager, yeah, to see all programs and everything which is opened, and at the same time fighting, yeah. And they have compared these with logs that they have from previous battles and see that nothing has changed. Yeah, so everything is accurate, everything is good. So they asked us what to do. Yeah, they asked us what to do, what we need to show them, what we need to prove them. And we did it just fully without any extra questions, because before this we asked them for this. Yeah,
Okay.
we asked them to join. I asked them to join. I asked them to make a full investigation. I asked that we will provide any details that they need, no matter how long this will take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, kudos to you guys. Okay, so I want to move forward a little bit here. So they wrap up, they conclude their investigation. At this point, you've been cleared. The court of public opinion, I imagine at this time, is probably still about the same for where it was. However, you all decide, as you stated, you're not going to comment, you're not going to say anything about what happened. You persevere. You guys grind through it. What was the message that you and or Ma sent to the team after the investigation concluded, from what you're saying with the dev team? And they said, okay, listen, you guys are in the clear, nothing's wrong. What was the message? What did you say to your team, to the alliance, to the kingdom, on how you were going to move forward?
First of all our team all the time knows about everything which is happening. So they know, for example, about current Diplo situation in the KvK, yeah, and the same happens all the time, yeah. So I have no, how to say, no shadow information from them, so I'm not covering anything. And they knew that now we have an investigation, that we have hopes that everything will finish soon, that we need to participate like we always do. So we need good participation, good activity, and so on, because developers will look through us. I didn't tell them the names and so on, who are them, yeah, so we hide them in our server so that nobody will understand who they are, so that later not to use these. But anyway, people knew, yeah, and of course I informed them about the results. I shared some screenshots, of course, with blurred nicknames and so on in the Discord, from the Discord, with their words, and said thanks all for helping us to prove that we are not cheaters, that we are not camels.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay.
about
I
English.
understand.
Yeah, we have a proverb just in Russian that when you need to prove that you are not a camel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
yeah,
I've never heard that before.
all were happy. Yeah, all people, of course, were happy. But yeah, it created some maybe small issues for us in terms of people who wanted to join us but decided not to join after hearing all of this. But anyway, others people continued joined us because they saw that they saw us at the battlefield. We showed them. Of course, some of them, for example, asked us, "Are we are them? Yeah, if we are cheaters,
Hmm.
and how can I prove that we are not cheaters if we are not cheaters?" So I just said them, "Okay, guys, join, check, and later in the season, answer this question by yourself: are we are or not we are?" So they joined. They saw this incredible, awesome participation in voice Discord of our commands, of everything we have. And after this, they said, "Guys, we believe that those people who told these bad things about you are just stupid and don't understand anything, or just your haters who understood everything, yeah, but just continue sharing this information just to make things worse for you." So, and they stayed with us.
That's very interesting to hear from you, in that, well, I guess maybe not as much interesting, but I guess a little bit sad, in you saying that there were some negative repercussions or fallout from the accusations that were made against you and the team, in that you may have lost out on potential migrants coming in. Is it? I guess, and I'm curious. Was there anything else, or maybe even, how many people were interested in maybe coming and that opted not to? But was there anything else that you noticed that you felt, okay, this is kind of some of the fallout that's happening, some of like the negative that's happening from the accusations, whether it's losing out on opportunities, maybe it's kingdoms that don't want to ally with you. Was there anything else besides, from what you said, some players that opted to not migrate, that you experienced during that time?
Yes, of course, I think somebody decided not to join, but again, others joined. Yeah, others knew from this about us and decided to join. So I don't know if they gave only negative or only positive. I think it's like in real life, any action which happens, any situation has both positive and negative aspects. Yeah. So, for example, now we have such players like Red Whites. and some others who are Krakens, who are our whales, and came to us just because knew about us from this. Yeah, and they are happy being here, and I'm happy that they are here. Yeah, because they are really active, really addicted in positive means of this word to the
Yes.
game. Yeah, crazy barriers. Yeah, they hate farming like we are. They hate PVE events, for example, alliance mobilization. I really need sometimes to ask them to participate just to because because to stay in the top league. Yeah, but they're crazy barriers, and when we have real fights, not like friendly fights, yeah, but real fights, they are able to participate like 18 hours, 20 hours per day without any problems, without any issues, spending as much mana for resource healing as Alliance needs.
Okay. Okay. So it's I can only imagine. Okay. So so you get past that. Now you're moving
Yeah.
into this realm of okay, you guys have played another season now. You're starting to either recoup, to regain what you may have lost a little bit of. Right? Regaining some of that street credit, if you will, some of that belief amongst other people in the community, especially amongst people that may now be considering to migrate there. You get to a point where there is that turnaround. I guess I'm curious for you, maybe leading up to this season, was there a season before that you guys played where and I'm talking maybe a season after all of this, after all the investigation was concluded, where you felt like this season was our season to not only prove ourselves, we felt that we basically erased and eliminated, any of the past accusations that were made, and we did just a really good job in promoting and maybe rebuilding, whether it's the morale, the motivation of the alliance, maybe it's the public image. Did anything like that happen to you guys, to your team after, if it was any of the seasons after the allegations, or sorry, after everything was concluded, even if it's not this current season?
Yeah, so you mean the season after this investigation? Yeah, the season after that, a lot of, I don't know, trash talks which
No.
happened. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, and it could be the season after that, or maybe the season after that. I guess I'm curious on, was it the next season? Was it 2 seasons? Was it 3 seasons after that where NTS felt like, okay, we're back on track. We have good momentum. Our image publicly is now either back to what it was or better than what it was. Was there anything, any kind of momentum or shift that you felt after
yeah.
after everything was concluded where it's like, okay, we're feeling on top of the world now, like we feel like we're back?
Yeah, I understand the question. So yeah, the season after this trash talks, which happened, was the season against Echo, Nair, uh, Kong, GG, BXS,
Hmm.
yeah, alliances, and we participated quite well in it. Yeah, we received a lot of fun, a lot of joy. Also had a lot of fights. Yeah, in that season we were not able to make a good matchup of alliances. Yeah, allies, because of some situation which happened. Again, that not really important right now. But we fought a lot, we received much pleasure, and after that season, also quite a lot of people joined us. Yeah,
Okay.
the same has happened after the next season, which was quite boring. Yeah, because it has against alliances who were much weaker than us. Um, so, if sum up about reputation, about what have we felt, we were very silent publicly in English media, right? So I didn't feel anything bad, really bad, which happened about around us in that moment. So it's difficult for me to compare about what is happening. I still, of course, received some messages from my players who informed me about what is discussing in streams, yeah, what is discussing in official global Discord, and so on. So some people continue to believe uh, that we are not cheaters. Some doubt maybe. Some continued didn't know, haven't known anything about NTS at all, because again, we are not very public alliance. So still we continued growing, continued receiving and accepting some players, continued kicking inactive players from our server. So in terms of this question, I cannot say that it gave a very bad impact or very good impact on our reputation, on our behavior, on our alliance in general, because it was much more important how we behaved, how we performed during the current KvK. Yeah, if we performed well, if we performed with a lot of fights, interesting fights, and in general, yeah, we received more players because people are looking among KvKs. They saw this alliance who is always fighting. They saw the alliance who is very organized, yeah, very focused on the result, in terms of battles, of course, not a result of taking the dragon. Of course, we are fighting for it, but the process of how we're coming to this is more important for us. So if they saw this, they tried to apply. Yeah, they tried to pass the interview with me. Because yes, to come to NTS, you need to not an interview. Yeah, we just speak with you. We just speak with you. I try to explain the candidate what I expect from him or her. This person at the same time understands about some of our principles, some of our not a lot of but rules, and understands if he or she will feel comfortable in our alliance. Yeah, and in such case, if both sides feels good from this conversation, I accept the person. If no, we just say thank you for the time spent in the dialogue, and he or she continues searching for a better place for himself or herself. Yeah, so that I prefer not to invite a lot of players in alliance right now. Yeah, I mean in the moment, and only after this check if it's good person or not. I prefer firstly to understand if it's good person or not, and only after this to accept this person. Yeah. So again, if sum up,
Okay. Oh,
people looked on our performance and because of this decided if they want to join us or not. Not because of these trash talks and so on.
okay, understood. So let
Yeah.
me. I'd love to know now because again, what I touched on in the beginning was the fact that you all went through all of that for how you started out there in 49, and you have essentially become what I don't think anyone would disagree with, a top kingdom in the game and a top fighting kingdom in the game. What do you attribute that to? What are some things that, again, for obviously for what you may be able to share, what are some things that you feel NTS does, 49 does, to be a top performing kingdom and a top consistent fighting kingdom in the game today?
Today we need more crazy barriers because some of our players left us or were kicked after the previous season. So now we have room and we are thinking and discussing and again speaking. Yeah, so these interviews which are like by text in the Discord with me. So trying to find more barriers for us. If we find enough, we again will be among top three uh, top servers in this game. Yeah. If don't fight right now, um, I mean after this season, we will continue searching for them in next seasons, and this growth will become a little bit slower. Yeah, but anyway, we will come back to this top three, top five, I don't know, level. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And
So
I guess to
yeah,
dive in there a little more specifically, what are some things that
yeah.
you guys do to be a top fighting kingdom? Is it do you practice? Is it just the fact that everyone is in VC? Do you have a specific system you've come up with when you guys are fighting on the field? I guess I'm curious, again, based on what you are comfortable sharing, what is it? What does NTS do that separates them from other kingdoms as being one of the top fighting kingdoms that you and your team do, that you enact, that you action when you're out there fighting, or even if it's the
Yeah,
preparation?
yeah. Thank you for clarification. Yeah, now I better understand the question. Yeah, the first thing which we have is that we have several very experienced war leaders. Yeah, and even though we all are working, we can switch each other. Yeah, and continue leading our players because we don't like being not organized. We don't like to fight like most of alliances are fighting. Not all, of course, but many. Like imagine you are 200 million player, you just TP at the front line and you start sending 5 legions to the crowd of opponents. No, we won't let such happens. Yeah, we we if we fight, we try to fight in an organized way. Of course, we allow our krakens to do crazy things if they really want, because we know that they will be able to heal. But again, we ask them to, for example, control their stamina because um, we will need them in few hours. Yeah. Then what we have? So war leaders. Then we have organization, of course. So I always explain our people what we are doing and why we are doing. It's very important for people to understand the reasons of this or that action. In such case, they become more motivated. Yeah, more motivated. They better understand why they shouldn't sleep this night, why they should continue fighting, why they need to use, for example, more infantry than DPS or more DPS than infantry, or exact artifacts or exact anything. Then, of course, we have a good preparation in terms of talents, in terms of artifacts, paths, and so on. So we try to spend a lot of time with our players, trying to find an individual variant for them how to develop. Yeah, according to their financial abilities, according to their time abilities, and so on. The thing we don't have, and maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, it's we don't have pilots on the accounts, especially on our Krakens. We are not asking our players to share their personal. So accounts for us are kinds of property, yeah, and it is not our. We ask players to be, yeah. How they will be, it is the task of players. If our Krakens are ready to fight a lot without sharing, it's great for us. In such case, no problems. If Kraken isn't ready, then he needs to find a solution by himself, or he will leave us. Yeah, because we don't need an inactive Kraken, even if it's a Kraken. So strict in terms of having people. Yeah, so as I have said, even if you're a Kraken, but if you don't perform well in terms of team play, yeah, we will ask you to leave. Later or sooner, yeah, in some cases, I can give a second chance, even the third chance, but not all the time. At one moment, uh, my readiness to understand the situation of person is finished, and I ask this person to leave us. Then, of course, Discord. Yeah, I, to be honest, needed to put this into the second position. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mentioned it only now because in key battles, for example, in the previous season, we had 170. No, we had 179 players in general in alliance without any farms, without anything. Yeah, so 179 active real players, real accounts. Yeah, when final zone started, we had online of 171, and in the Discord at that moment we had 165 players. So mostly all players who were online were at the same time in the Discord. This increases our game coherence, our game communication, our game coordination on an incredible level. Of course, we have some battle tricks, yeah, some short commands, some classical ones, some not classical. Uh, for classical movements, we even don't need to have war leaders speaking a lot, yeah. So just short commands, and all people will we need to do. But for some battle and field movements, yeah, we have some great war leaders. For example, Saitel, yeah, um, our main war officer. who feels the map in a significant way, yeah, and who feels what we need to do in this or that moment, yeah, in terms of killing as many opponents as we can and losing as less as we can at the same time. So making the most possible damage that we can to make in against our opponents. And for example, in the previous season, we lost the previous season. Yeah, I'm not speaking about this. So yeah, we lost because somebody will say because of the map, somebody will say because of some strategical mistake, somebody will say because of some other reasons. Doesn't matter now. Yeah. But in the first day, when we just building and fighting on, somebody will say because of the bastions. Yeah, for sure. To also a good reason. But anyway, yeah. Before we reached the bastions, before we reached the contact against the flags with flags, yeah, we performed successfully against all our opponents. For example, we stopped building of SSG alliance for 1.5 flags, yeah, whereas them even trying to attack us with 3 alliances, with SSG, with WBA, and with TFS. So they attacked us at the same moment from 3 different directions with staffs and so on, with coming on foot when we had a building buff. So they tried to stop us. They didn't do this. Yeah, we didn't lose even a second from our building. We just killed them all. Yeah, we so this was great. Yeah, EAS helped us with attacks with cavalry from their back. A2G also came with some of their players. But anyway, the same situation happened when we attacked the building of SSG. Yeah, they also defended with 3 alliances, attacked one by one with our 3 alliances, and we stopped them. Yeah, so we performed successfully when we are fighting in the open field, and this is the result of first Discord, second having great war leaders, third that we use the same language when we are speaking. Yeah, many I know still believes that NTS is a Russian mostly alliance. It's not correct. We're international alliance, and during battles we use English language as main, and when we need to explain some tricks which we just decided to do, like here and now, just now, which are not typical for our alliance. In such case, we explain in English and in Russian, at the same time. But when we are fighting in classical style, we try to use only English because it's faster. Yeah. We have a client of a glossarium, in our alliance. Our Russian players who doesn't know English at all just learn some typical phrases and understand what to do.
Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate that. I mean, that's a pretty detailed out breakdown of some of the main points that you guys focus on. I wanted to circle back, if I can, to one thing you said, Mark, that I really liked was you saying that you take the time to not only state and to give the action, to give the order of what you're doing, but that you also feel it is just as important, if not more important, to explain the why, to take
Yeah,
time to explain this is why we're doing this. This is why this is important. This is why it will benefit you. I absolutely love that because this is something that this is something that resonates so much with me. I would focus on this element, on this area of what I would basically consider, education, right? Informing people more than just telling them or asking them to do something or saying, hey, get online at this time, show up, go out there and fight, but actually being able to give them a detailed understanding of the importance of why they should be doing something and how their efforts, how that player, because if they understand this, they will be able to help not only the team out that much more, but they'll be able to help themselves out and gain from that and learn something from that. Again, that I can't say how much I appreciate hearing that. And again, I'm sure there's other kingdoms, other alliances out there that do that as well. But to me, I've always felt that taking time to explain the why behind something and to give a player a better understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it can help them, again, as you articulated already, not only a better understanding, but it can motivate them. It can boost their morale. It can have them be in higher spirits and maybe even more excited to participate, because now it's not just about them engaging and going out there and fighting, but now it could be maybe them testing something, right? Maybe it's you guys in your team, as you stated, right, giving kind of a custom loadout to someone, based on what their capabilities are, spending, what do they have available on their account, and them feeling like, wow, I am now in the best position to basically maximize my account for what I can do out there in the field. And it's all because Mark and the team took time to explain these things to me, took time to work with me on getting an efficient layout for what I'm going to be using, whether it's out in the open field, if it's filling rallies, if it's supporting in another way. Anyways, I just wanted to state that I love the fact that you said that. I think that is such an underrated area, and it's so important, because to me it feels like and maybe you can speak to this. It feels like that when you do those things, especially when you do them well, it can boost confidence in players and also make them feel more comfortable to go and do those things that you are then asking of them to go do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, still, of course, we have some mistakes in strategy and coordination. Sometimes we can, for example, raise our voice, especially if we are nervous or anything happens. But I think it's typical for any alliance.
Yep.
So we are just people. We are still humans. Yeah.
No, I again, absolutely, completely understand there. Okay, let me get to one of the other things, and again, I know we're already kind of going a little over an hour now at this point, but I want to get to at least a few more, and then I want to open the floor up as well. So let me, and I'll do that now. So for those of you that are hanging out with us, if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask Mark while he's here with us, please go ahead, you guys, and start typing those out. But Mark, one of the other things I want to ask you about, and this to me is and I want to make sure that I heard you correctly before I ask or say what I would like to say. You stated earlier, a little while ago, that in NTS there are no pilots. Everyone plays on a main account. Nobody shares their information. I just want to make sure, is that accurate?
Yes, we at least we are not forcing our players
Okay.
to share. Yeah, if they want to find a pilot, it is up to them for
Okay.
sure. If they want somebody to protect their accounts, for example, when they are sleeping, again, it is up to them. Yeah, so it's not prohibited, but still we are not forcing our whales and krakens to share. That's why, for example, sometimes, for example, yeah, we did when we started fighting against ASH in this battling zone, we didn't have Julian Mint, one of our biggest players. Yeah, he joined us only at the end of the first battling day because he was busy at work and so on. Not because and no problems. Yeah, because yeah, sometimes such happens. I know I can fully trust on him and. Sometimes this happens. So he informed in advance that he won't be able to participate in first hours. We decided that against ASH, it is fine. Yeah, I'm sure in final zone he will begin until the end. Yeah, so this, yeah, like this. If he wanted to, will one day want to find a kind of a pilot for himself, he will find it by himself. And, again, no problems. I will give Discord roles and let this pilot to here and so on. It is the responsibility of exact player.
Okay. Okay, understood. No. Thank you for clarifying that, because my initial thought was like, wow, that's pretty bold, obviously, for anyone to state that that we don't have any anyone that does that, or we're being outspoken about saying, yeah, we absolutely don't want anyone in the alliance that does that. And I only say that because I just imagine it would be hard to control that, right? Hard to know who is doing it or not doing it. But the fact that you clarified stating that, it's not something that you guys promote, you don't advocate for it, and you also put it in the hands of the players, and you obviously let them decide if it's something that they want to be a part of, or partake in, I should say, or not. So yeah, no. Again, thank you for clarifying on that one, because I think for me that's it's always, I guess it can be a touchy subject where some people are very against the idea. They don't believe it should be allowed, and then other people will say that they do it because they want to maximize their account. They don't want there to be a lot of downtime, or maybe they're not free or available to fight and their account is capable of fighting, and they want to be able to be of use, and they want to support their alliance so they can be there to fight, even if maybe they're busy in real life and they're just not available right at the moment to be there. So but no, I appreciate you explaining a little bit of that. Okay, let me see if there's any questions here that anyone has for you, Mark. Let me just read through real quick and see if there's anything that I can find. Let's see. There we go. I think someone had asked. Oh, hang on. I think someone said. Oh well, Oscar had asked. There's so much proof, so many pieces of proof or manipulated proof of NTS claiming to be cheating. So Oscar, I think the answer for that one is, there are videos out there where people were saying that, and we covered this as well back when those things were happening. And I think the people that were posting those videos, they just personally felt that what they were seeing in their minds was, and to be clear, it's not just NTS. There's been other alliances and other kingdoms that people have, made videos about, claiming that those people were cheating as well. So I think the answer to your question is just very simple in that, anyone can make a video about anything, and sometimes they can get it in their head that these people are cheating when they may not be. And the proof that they're showing, even if it's proof to them, it may not be authentic or what we might consider just to be real proof in this sense, without having to kind of add the real word on it for what is accurately depicting real or true cheating versus perceived cheating, right? So this person feeling like, hey, maybe they were or they are, but just not having any of the proof there to really back it up. I think that would be the sip. I don't know if you want to add anything else on that, Mark.
Yeah, you're fully right, and I will also give a kind of a point about this. Oscar, being in NTS, so what proofs have you seen? Proofs of when we are moving all together. It is the only game style which we are playing together in NTS. You have to be in Discord voice. You have to follow commands when you are playing a serious battle, being in NTS alliance against a strong opponent. In such case, of course, we all will move together. We don't allow, we hate when our battling lines, when our movements are similar to sausages, as we call them. Yeah, this line of anything which is very easily to be attacked by opponents. We believe that when we are together, we are much stronger. That's why we become as much close as possible to each other. We all are sitting in Discord. We all the time, we're making commands all the time. You can watch streams when we are fighting. You can watch videos where we have some recordings of our voice commands and so on. If you're here in NTS, you have no chance to play in another way, yeah, except an organized way. we are playing. And it is related to the next question I see, because I also have opened your stream, which Raiko or Ryuko, I don't know, sorry, pronunciation, have asked about leaving of some players after the previous season. Yeah, some players were kicked because every season I try to kick the most inactive players, and after the previous season, which we have lost, of course I have kicked a little bit of players because of this. Some players left by their own wish, because again, we are not slaves here. Yeah, not for all our game style suits perfectly. Yeah, some finds the necessity. So it's necessary to follow some commands in some key moments. Yeah, in other moments you are able to play with 5 caps, anything like this. Yeah, do what you want. But in key moments you need to follow commands. Yeah, and not all players were ready, so they came, they tried, and they understood that they are not receiving full amount of joy, pleasure of fighting in an organized way. Yeah, they wanted to have more pleasure, which they see for them, personally for them, in playing like a little bit strict way. That's why they decided to leave. And I'm grateful. I really I say thank you these players for several seasons with us, for fighting, participating, for communicating, because some of them became my friends and so on. And still, I'm ready to speak with them, and with some of them we continue communication, not about the game, because other alliances are not coming into their policy, into their internal situation, but we can discuss some other moments with them, so closer to real life and so on, because we really became friends. So they wish me good luck in my work, so discuss some real life issues, family issues, and so on. It's fine for me, and I'm not angry on them because of their leaving. Not a problem for me. It's life. One came, another leave. Anyway, NTS continue going ahead, continue growing. Yeah, we became a little bit lower in size after the previous season, but soon you will again see us at top. I know this, and you will see that I'm not joking.
Understood. No, I'm sure NTS will keep
Mm.
doing what NTS does going forward. Absolutely. We'd asked for you, Mark, what is the meaning of the alliance name?
Oh, you can see it. So it's an abbreviation. It is abbreviation in Russian language, which is created by Minzdra, which is called shortly Muh, 25 years ago when he created an artist community.
Hmm.
If translated to English, it is what you just see, independent society and so on. Yeah, we try to translate it as much as close as possible to the original meaning. Maybe, yeah, first letters are not correspond to NATISK, but the meaning is quite close.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you for that. Let me see. Ryuku said, Mark, can you share how it was to work with EIS and A2G in terms of coordination for the final zone with your time zones mostly being synchronized?
Past season is past season. We had, I think we didn't communicate it 100% from our potential, so we could communicate better, but it is better understood only after. So at that moment, we believed that we are doing our maximum. Still now, I understand what could be improved and so on. And anyway, I can say thank you for EAS and A2G for that. For us, it wasn't the perfect. Not I'm again not speaking in terms of result, but we again slept half of the season, and only last week we fought a lot. Yeah, and this was a great main our problem which we had in the previous season. But again, it was happened because of the map, for example. Yeah, because we were surrounded by them. And anyway, for example, because of this map, so no sense for EIS go against ours. They believed, or maybe, so they decided to go against WB because have made such decision without even making us allies, for example. And the same happened with A to G. So okay, people saying that I'm lagging. I disconnect and come back.
Mm. Oh no, I think you're fine. Yeah, you sound fine to me. Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
I'm back. I'm
Okay,
back.
okay. No,
I'm,
I was just trying to say you sound fine to me.
but yeah, but people are saying started writing to me. I mean, my alliance
Oh,
players who are watching us started writing me in our Discord that
oh,
I'm
okay.
lagging.
So let me see. I think we might have one more here for you. So we'd asked, in your opinion, who's the strongest alliance in the game except NTS? Who else would you give that? Whether it's strongest alliance or maybe a top or maybe best fighting alliance.
I think all understand that for this moment, Echo Alliance is the strongest in this game. Yeah, but we're really waiting for the moment when we'll be able to make kind of a competition for them, with them, against them, and I'm sure they also won't be against of this because it's quite boring all the time fighting and winning without any big competition. So we're waiting for this moment and to doing our best for this moment to come faster.
Of course. No, as speedy as you guys can get there, absolutely. Well, listen, Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate you making some time for us. I'd love to, before we close it out, I'd love to just give you the floor. If there's any shout outs, any declarations, any shots you'd like to fire away, please feel free.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this kind of an interview. Of course, if you want, we can repeat it, for example, at the end of the season to sum up the season results, yeah, of our division, if you would like to have it. So up to you. I won't be against after seeing the real battling power and real battling situation and what was happened at the map in this season. For those who watched us, thank you for viewing here in live or in a recording. So if you want to join NTS and suits our criteria, you can always write to me. We will discuss if it's possible. If don't want, your decision, up to you. We will meet you, I hope, on the battlefield and have some fun fighting against each other. So thank you all.
Awesome. No, thank you so much, Mark. Man, I really appreciate the time and for you sitting down and answering some varied questions for me about the alliance and the kingdom. And we're definitely wishing you and the group the best going forward.
Thank you too.
Thanks. All right, man. I'll let you go. Take care and have a good rest of the day, Mark.
Thank you. Bye all. Bye.
Bye. All right, fam. So again, that was Mark from NTS. I will say, man, I really enjoyed. I very very much enjoyed that interview. I have no idea why these yawns are coming out. Jeez. But what I will say is, kidding's like an actual adult as an R5 is rare. um, touche, touche. You know what? And again, what I'll say is, it is so refreshing. So maybe it is a little bit of that, but I will say it's very refreshing. When you're able to sit down and have a conversation with someone, and I think Mark is a good example of this, who very much appears to be very well put together, and it's you think about God. I mean, as we talked about before he came on, man, just like the hard, difficult road that the hard, difficult road that NTS had going into all, just basically that whole spiraling of a situation that was created from the accusations and them kind of having to stick to their guns, and the fact that Mark was saying, like, he told people to not say anything, to just keep to yourself, and the fact that, people did. You weren't hearing members of NTS just going out there and blasting or giving their thoughts or anything to that fact. And so to me, it really feels like the group that they're building there is, again, very well put together. Everyone has a lot of respect for each other and belief in what their team is doing over there. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to see how NTS plays out the remainder of the season. And then in addition to that, how their migration window looks for next season. So, all right, fam. Let me see what I'd like to try and do now is do a little bit of segueing, because apparently there were, I think it was in 5.10 or 5.13. I got to see where this is, man. There was, and I got to change the title here too. Apparently, there was another window or another wave of bans that went down. I got to see real quick. Yeah. So remember, Lion was in 3.10. Now apparently there is a wave of bans that went down for a number of players in 5.13. And then we're also going to check around and maybe update the sheet, because we got some pass openings that I think are going to be coming up soon as well that we'll be able to check on. So let's see here. There we go. Yeah, this is, again, very interesting for what's happening right now. Let me see if we can... I'm pretty sure someone had DM'd me about this. But where are they? 5.13. Yeah, man. So let's go take a look real quick at 5.13, and then I do want to scout out some KvK pass openings, because there is some. Yeah, I think it was... Oh yeah, here we go. So someone told me that in 5.13, where we are now, I think they said LE or something was the alliance. Here we go. So they said something about there was... Okay, here it is. Yeah. So they were talking about like 30 plus players here. That was what supposedly was stated. Was that there was about 30 plus players that they're saying, and again, they showed me some screenshots too as well, some of the players being banned. It looks like for about a day, but there was a wave of people being banned in the kingdom. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if we can ask, because Tamara's chat. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah. Do you know? Let me ask real quick. Yeah, because I again, this is... Yeah, this is wild, man. Yeah. I'll share one thing that they sent, which Again, this is just like a standard band screenshot, so it's nothing major, if you will. But here's one I'll show you, right? And again, there's nothing personal on here that it shows, but this was something they sent to me for what I imagine is one of the 30 players that they stated have faced a ban wave in this kingdom. And it's rough, man. Let me see. We probably don't even need to say anything, but yeah, let's take a look real quick at LE, and then I do want to do a little bit of Sky. We might come back to this as well. If I end up getting a message back, maybe we can speak to someone here. Let me see. Yeah, it's like 1.5, so 1.1. Yeah, so again, smaller kingdom, right? So I think it's LE. Maybe they ended up moving. Oh, actually, never mind. Excuse me. So not smaller. They're right here. Probably the majority of them are just in the shell at the moment. Let me post in here in their realm. I think that's their kingdom chat. Hey, y'all, heard some players were banned in 5.13. Would love to talk to anyone if able to come on stream to share what happened, if able or willing. No, I gotta be level 2? What is this? How dare you? Oh, come on, man. Can't you just love me a little bit? Let's see. Oops, that's... All citizens, I don't even know what that was. I think I got to get to 4, though, real quick to post, from what I recall. So let's just hang on. Let's do a quick one real quick, and we'll get up, and then I can message. And then we're gonna go and look at some pass openings, because there's some big stuff that's going to be happening this week, and I am excited. All right. Oh, it is night, man. I swear I had to level up to 4 before on some of these. I know it's 7 for the DMs. Okay, well, maybe I went too much. So, okay, we're just gonna watch short animation. The short animation. Okay, let's do that, and then let's Tamaris. Oops, hang on. Let's go. Yeah, let me do hey, if anyone from 513 management that supposedly yeah, we'll do would love to hear, and DM. Boom. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, again, if there's not too many people there, it may not be super active. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's copy. There we go. All right, we're covered. We're covered. So I asked. So maybe I'll hear from someone. Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I am. Yeah. So yeah. Someone was even talking about the guns thing. Is there anyone from 513 that would be willing to come on stream and VC to share? Okay, so I'm actually I think I'm talking to one of the R4s. Yeah, I'm talking to one of the R4s from this kingdom, so I'm trying to see if maybe one of them might be interested. It's easy. I was like, it's like the moment I post something. This is so funny. Let me see what they say. Oh, NASTi's around. Yeah, man. I hacked their toasters. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta be 7, man. I kind of remember it's gonna be 7 to DM. Oh, hang on. Yeah, man, I can't DM. Oh, this is the grind stuff here, man. Oh, crud. Let's see if we can do this pretty quick. I'm at 5. No, I don't want that. Where's the Ranger Retreat? I gotta do that to 5 real quick. All right, so hopefully we can do this, and that way I can DM some people back and forth, and that will alleviate. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, I forgot I can build new stuff now. And then I've leveled up, so we'll do that. We'll do that. And I think I had to do that to 2, right? There we go. All right, we're at 6. We're getting there. Confirm, confirm. I know I gotta do the wall. All right, 10. Yeah, why not? We'll do 10. Why not? Can't remember what else I gotta do now. Oh, I gotta build that. All right. Hopefully that should be good. Okay, it is. Lovely. I think I have to level up something else besides, yeah, the fungal tree. There we go. Bum, bum. We'll do that. Hopefully this takes a sec. And then we'll be good at 7. All right, there we go. Look, we're speeding through level 7 grind. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. People tell me about doing the gemming thing. Man, I know. I keep forgetting. Don't judge me. Everyone's like, nah, man, we're judging. We're judging. 20. There we go. All right, we're at 7. They can't say, oh, might as well build the Auger Stone while I'm here. All right, let me see. So, dude, so active. Our alliance got some people. Okay. KO, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Oh, sorry. Pessa, you said the top video should be going out this week, right? So again, I'll be doing my top 25 videos again once I get a recent scan from Fuzzy. I'm still waiting on that. He is back. He's back to I believe usual activity. I just know that he's taking care of any of the people that are I guess clients, if you will. And so I know I know I'm on his short list, so he'll get something from me, or he'll shoot me something whenever he gets a moment. To be honest, I probably should put a question mark, even if it is implied. Okay, so the R4 said he's checking right now to see if there is anyone. He's gonna let me know. In the meantime, we might go look for, because again, I do want to know about some. I do want to know about some Passover. Let me see what they're saying here. Oh God, dude, look at look at that. I ask one question in Tamaris, and then all of a sudden it blows up. Okay. Yeah, so so R4 said they'll let me know if able. Monkey hacked their fridges. Who was banned? Y'all got reported. Spaghetti, my fake Italian friend. Tell me my fake Italian friend. That's good. Oh, jeez. Hoo our T5s, Ransom Nightmare, and a few others. 40 Ransom, Mash Nightmare. Wow. So okay, so they're like naming some people here. NASTi rushing base to be able to respond DMs. Got to be the wildest, because he's watching. Listen, man. I commit. You know, I'm a friend of the peeps. Okay. Vader said we didn't report anyone. Admin saying scripts, but can't give any proof. Want to hear what they did to get banned? Such banned wave doesn't drop with no reports. Interesting. Right, which is if this person is saying a ban wave doesn't drop with no, I don't know if they're making it seem like people like it doesn't matter if they have the bans, or that you wouldn't get banned if there were no reports that they had viewing it there. I'm unsure on the intent for the message there. What kind of good trade we farm merits without our T5 eating everything? Cosmo Tower told me what I did. If it was 1 or 2 max, maybe they got flagged, but not all, bro. I don't know. I found out LA people got banned because they told us this happened when COD support opened. Oh, interesting. Morning time. Wow, dude, they're really going at it right now. Yeah, okay. Tactical move. We wanted to eat something, but no one was coming, so we called you. What? What is happening in this chat? Poor Doobie. He was so nice. Can't imagine him doing something bad. They were all using nothing. They don't need it. Bro, Vader, I'm gonna be honest with you. Someone did report, and I'm not just throwing around shit. This story is just the beginning. Dude, what is happening? Hi, you two. What's up, bro? Day was wild with the bans for sure. Still wondering what really caused the wave. I have no idea if the bans are valid or not, but usually they are. Bro, you guys have 6 keeps, 1 choke, a mana well to hide along the territory in all cities. Oh, let me see. Hang on. I think I'm getting DM now. Let me see. Man, this is a really good point that I want to bring up now. So one of the R4s, and I don't know if someone had mentioned this before, but this is such a fantastic point that this person brings up. So the guy I'm talking to on Discord, one of the R4s here for LE, he said something that I think will probably resonate with that. I hope a lot of people will understand this. This is such a massive point, which is that he said being banned randomly with no proof, no reason, has made it to where now players are scared to keep playing and spending if people can decide through mass reports or reporting, even if they're not cheating, that will make others get banned. I mean, how absolutely spot on is that? Right? Which again is just another angle that I hadn't touched on before, but is absolutely correct. If these random ban waves, or if the system in place can be so easily manipulated to where you can ban people at a whim if you just have enough people that report, and especially because think about it, the people that are probably getting ban targeted are probably going to be stronger players. Like they're not going to go after 10K people, right? They're not going to go after players that are like a mil power, 5 mil power, 10 mil power, right? They're going to go after strong players. So if you have these strong players that are being banned for no reason, what's to say that they're going to now start? What's to say that they decide to either stop spending, slow their spending down, stop playing, or quit altogether? it's just like, man, again, it's such a good point, and I feel like that is something that the COD team is going to have to, like, I feel like this is something they're going to have to address again, because it has been days now that this has been taking over basically COD news, the Gen Chat. It's been a constant point of contention. But yeah, again, I think that's another fantastic point that was made. Okay, hang on. So I think I might got someone. What was that? Let me see here. Okay, hang on. I gotta make sure this is the right person I'm gonna add. Oh crap, dude! Do I not know how to spell? Oh my god, do I have a spelling problem? Oh, I do. Okay, that was on me. That was on me. Yeah, that one was me. It was a typo. Oh crud! Let me go back here now. Oh. Oh, I think that's it, right? So, yep. Okay. All right. We got it. We got it. Whoa. Well, here we go. Whoa, what's going on? I have to confirm that I'm human? Damn, bro. Even Discord thinks I'm cheating. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see. Okay, I'm just asking, are you able to come on VC and go over what happened? And okay, so I just asked. I'm just waiting to hear back right now. Let us have the gate in disaster. Wait, what? Bro, listen, you got to ask to have the pass, and then the disaster will come? That's pretty good, man. Like, that's a wild statement. Like, let us have it, and then we'll show you kind of an approach. That's nuts. That's nuts. Dude, post of the year. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. So they spent 100K altogether just to be banned. Crazy. Wow. That's nuts. Okay, so I'm still waiting to hear back from the other R4 or the R5 maybe. I did add and send a message, so we're just waiting on that now. Pro Cop, thank you so much for the sub. It means a lot. Go it even, thank you. Or go it Levin, thank you so much for the sub, man. It means a lot. Yeah, Suzanu, thank you so much. I appreciate the sub. It means a lot. I'm gonna throw some confetti in chat because it's free and I like the animation. Let me see here. Crap, do I gotta scroll back up? I know I missed some of these. Oh, here it is, 100K. Okay. Well, what do we have here? Well, as it was said, the support didn't send any proof. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, but that's pretty consistent with what we've been hearing. Also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you throw us up. Because I've said a lot. Thanks. Sup doesn't send proof by default. Yeah. Oh, support. So I thought he was saying sup, like what's up? Yeah, but supported, yeah. Wayne thought you're not going to push, so we pushed ourselves. It was a good Suicide Night show. I doubt someone paid this much money for a 24-hour ban. Damn, what? Yo, you can pay money to ban people now? What's going on here? What is this, Fiverr? Says, yeah, probably the 8-hour gate was not the bloodiest battle in the game. If you're not considering a push, what happened at the gate? I don't know what we should call what y'all tried to do with the bloodiest. Like, damn, bro, people are harsh in this kingdom. In this KvK chat, jeez. How you think it was us to report you? Turns out other servers also got hit with bans today, not just yours. Interesting. I wonder what other servers got hit with bans, man. I would absolutely love to talk to some other places. Okay, hang on. I just got to reply back. Cool if I call now. Okay. So the person I just got reached out to. Okay, let's see here. Only 1 day ban. Man, hey, you right, man. Ahmed's right, dude, because the Lion Peeps in 310 were getting 2-week bans like it was an appetizer being served as the main entree. Like it was rough, man. Okay, all right. I'm calling this person named Ransom, who I believe is in R4 for LE in 513. Let's see what they got. Ransom, what's up?
What's up, boss? How you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. Thank you so much for making some time for us today.
Well, thank you.
So can you, again, I always like to start off with the intros. Can you tell me, again, your position, Kingdom, Alliance, just give us the 411 to start, please.
So I'm an R4 on server 513 in Legion of Abyss. And we've been fighting against server 500, which is a bigger kingdom than us all season. And essentially, there's a couple things that could have happened. One thing, we could have been mass reported by 500. And that was our initial thoughts this morning. I've spoken with the leader of 500. He's said it wasn't them. The other possibility, we had 2 players from Older Kingdom, and they quit previously. One guy was managing both accounts, and he kind of crashed out last night, and we burned him. So he may also have mass reported just everybody, and just some of it stuck, some of it didn't.
Okay, got it. So give me a timeline here. When did the bans start happening? When did everyone start recognizing or noticing that the bans were happening? And at the same time, for the second part, did the bans all come pretty quickly from the first to the
So
last?
all the bans are almost synced up exactly. They're all about 12 hours ago.
Okay.
It was about 4 a.m. for me on my ban. I mean, I'm a cavalry player. We have whales, we have free to play people that have bans. So it's not really, hey, they just got all of our whales. There's people that are 35, 40 mil that are also 24-hour bans.
Okay. And that was my next question for you is have all the players that have been banned at the moment, have you all been able to confirm with them, is it just everyone is a straight up 24-hour ban? Does anyone have a longer ban than that?
I saw one that was, I think, a 5-day ban, and that guy said that he actually was like using a farm script or something, and that he told him that, like, admitted to it and said he wouldn't do it again. They reduced it to 3.
Okay.
But all of the 24 hours, we're not botting. I mean, like, multiple people are cavalry mains that are botting, that they accused of botting with this 24-hour ban. And I've been reaching out to support in game on Discord and VIP, and like, hey guys, like, what flagged? Because I'm not cheating, so I'm not just gonna get instantly banned again. And that's what concerns me. They don't tell you what was suspicious. They can't tell you any of the programs. Like, oh, it's inconvenient to disclose this because it's part of how we detect. So I kind of sent a message to VIP support and said, look, I need you to tell me what flagged, because otherwise I can't change anything. I'm just going to keep getting instantly banned just for playing the game. Like, if they could tell me and say, hey, here's what it was your antivirus, or you were online too long or something. But I mean, they just say, oh, it's just inconvenient to disclose that. But I've sent in 4 in-game support tickets, and they've all been like, oh no, you're cheating for sure. Like, we double checked, you're cheating.
Interesting. Okay. So wow. Okay. So, well, first off, I appreciate the candor in stating that, one person was doing something for farming, which again, I don't think that is that massive. I understand it is what it is, of course, but that's not, I think, what people would usually associate or what we feel, especially if you talk to again, for what people in the community would say, like, oh yeah, that is just so abhorrent. Like, how dare this person? They should not live anymore for farming some resources. But okay, so you guys check with everyone. Everyone, with the exception of one person, is a 1-day ban. Everyone else, or the other individuals, the 5-day ban. And you said that it was a range of people. So it wasn't just. So I guess did it feel like it was from everyone? Have you guys assessed everyone and said, like, okay, 50% of the people that were banned were like our top fighters? Well, I guess, was there any trend? Was there anything that you guys were able to, I guess, identify in if it was more of a targeted ban, or was it just basically everyone that got banned was an active fighting participant and there was a range of power from, like you said, from low to high within the kingdom?
So it's kind of odd because 3 of our top 5 fighters were banned, but like they didn't, like our rally lead wasn't banned. Our most active R4 wasn't banned. R5 wasn't banned, and those are the people that are always fighting in our ball. So again, I kind of after I got banned, I took the day off to try to push this gate today, and then was banned in the middle of the night, so couldn't do that.
Okay. And that was another thing. So there. Well, let me get to that in a sec. Please finish.
Was reading Kyle's complaints and talking about like auto retreats and stuff like that. We really train our ball, like we have a special name for it. We train it, but again, we had multiple cavalry players who are not fighting in that ball get banned.
Okay.
So it's just confusing, and some of them are, again, 35 million players, like they're low spend.
Okay, got it. Okay, so now who are some of the strongest players? Any T5s? What were some of the strongest accounts that got banned?
So I'm a T5 that got banned. Nightmare that you're talking to earlier is T5 that got banned.
Okay.
One of our better archers, who's one of our keep garrisons, he was banned. But again, I'm looking at 3 of our top tier 5s right here on the front line that didn't get banned.
Okay, interesting. Okay, and now I'm curious because someone brought up a really good point to me earlier, which was that essentially it feels like there is and can be actually, before I get there, so when the bans were issued, I think I heard you state that there was something about a pass opening happening or something objective wise. Were the bans issued before a pass or after a pass opening or close to one?
This is just a zone 4 pass.
Okay.
And it's been open for like 2 or 3 days. We've just kind of been fighting with this other server just at the pass. Hasn't been much of a competitive season. This is like the 2nd time we've had conflict. So we were kind of just fighting a little bit here before Zone 5 opens.
Okay. Okay, understood. Now,
yeah, they pushed it down our throats after the bans.
Oh, okay. No, and that was going to be my next question for you. Did it feel like there was any kind of coordinated timing for when the bans were issued, and then if it was them pushing you on the level 4 pass or on another pass?
It didn't seem coordinated to me.
Okay.
And again, I was talking to the leader of 500. He said they voted on it, and we were running our mouths in global chat, and that's why they decided to push. So it wasn't instant. It was probably 4 or 5 hours after the bans happened. So it wasn't like, hey, they're banned, let's start pushing.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, no, understood. Okay, so it didn't feel like, because to me that would have, and I imagine probably to others too as well, that could have been indicative of a little bit of a tell on, okay, well, if that happened, they started pushing, okay, maybe it was them, or maybe some of the people there were involved.
And that was the first thought, because we've been standing here staring at each other for 2 days.
Okay.
And then we get banned, and all of a sudden they're pushing in summoning behemoths and launching rally skills at us. So.
Okay, gotcha. Now I'm curious. Do you have any idea as far as like for some of the top players, even if it's just a range or a window of like total money spent, maybe average spend that they, I guess, have been doing up until this point, pre-ban?
I try not to check my bank statements on these games.
Touche. Okay.
I've probably spent, I don't know, $10 or $12,000, and I would say we have at least 3 players that have spent 3 or 4 times that.
Okay. So I mean,
we have a couple. We have multiple people that are tier 5 in season 1.
Okay, understood. So again, a healthy amount.
I was tier 5. I was tier 5 at the end of season 2.
Okay. So a healthy amount. Now, I guess I'm curious for you, right? I think you are probably one of the perfect people to ask about this. Is you get banned. You have obviously spent a decent amount already on the game from with it being the first season, going in to your, I guess in this case, I don't know. You guys, I think you guys are Season of Strife right now. So I know you guys have played at least 3 if this is not your 4th season. But you saying
so we were the first group to go through the actual new season 2 than season 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys didn't have pre-Strife. Yeah, because they
No.
Okay, got it. So you're basically on your 4th season now, but in your first SOS KvK. So
yep.
So you go through this. You get the ban issued. I'm curious, especially if you're saying, listen, I don't cheat, I don't do anything. I'm curious on how does that make you feel when it comes to not only your continued playing in the game, but does it make you feel like, okay, if they're just going to issue out a ban on me and I know I didn't do anything, does the thought or the feeling of like, am I going to keep playing at the same level? Am I going to keep spending? Like, is any of that cross your mind, or is it more of like, no, listen, they issued this ban. Obviously, I don't cheat. I'm just going to wait for the ban to be lifted. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again, and you just don't think anything more of it.
I mean, before I dealt with customer support, I felt okay about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just message them. It'll be lifted. Let's get to the end of it. But they're so adamant that I'm cheating, and like, what's going to happen next time? The next time's going to be 3 days. The next time's going to be 7 days. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like, if I was cheating, I'd just take my medicine, stop doing it. I can't do anything differently here. Like, so I'm asking them, like, hey, is it my emulator that I'm using my farms on? Like, can you tell me what the software is that you're picking up? And they don't tell you anything.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you have tried to ask and at least and try to be somewhat forthwith in applying some due diligence on your end of just covering your bases and saying like, look, this is some stuff that's happening, but I'm not doing anything that you are accusing me of, but can we work together to try and figure out a solution? So you've basically kind of gone the extra mile there to either ask and or try to resolve it by helping them out in whatever capacity you're able to.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to spend on a game where someone can just get mad at me and say, oh, Ransom's got too many kills. Let's go ahead and shake him off for 3 days. And push, like what kind of game is that?
Yeah. No, I can effortlessly sympathize with.
But what I've told VIP is, I said I need reassurance that I'm just not going to get banned randomly when someone feels like it. And right now, your support is telling me that I'm a cheater.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't have any repercussions against that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's just. Yeah, it feels like it's a continuation today of what basically has been happening for the past 2 days right now. And we did a big live stream yesterday where we talked about the FSK situation against Lion and 310, and obviously that one there was a lot of emotions that were going around, and again, I was referencing kind of the 2 big historical situations that had occurred previously with the NTS cheating allegations, and we had Mark on, who's the R5 there in 49, and we did an interview with him a little while ago, and I was able to ask him some questions about that and how that scenario played out for him and his team. And then obviously with the TA, which again, if you're newer, you may not necessarily be privy to some of these historical things, but even GG was accused and mass reported, just like some of the NTS people were, and so those were kind of like 2 of the bigger, more prominent kind of cheating scandals or allegations that were thrown around previously in past. And so, and those obviously turned out to be proven that they weren't doing anything wrong. But
Yeah, you came out with a video, I think earlier today, talking about that. But again, right now, customer support's digging their heels in that they've detected some third-party software.
okay, so let me ask you this then. This happens to you. It happens to a number of other people and a number of other spenders. Has there been any conversation now going forward on, okay, obviously if the ban can be lifted before the time limit, great. But if not, what is your sentiment? What's again, if it is even something that you guys have talked about as far as how are we going to proceed? Are we just not going to spend for the rest of the season? Are we going to lower spending? Has there been any thought, whether it's even just you and your thought, from your own perspective, and or if people have shared, if any of the other spenders have shared anything with you?
Yeah, so we haven't really talked about it on a large scale yet.
Okay.
But me personally, I mean, I need the upcoming wheel, which is going to probably come at reset. I have Dragon tickets already on the account for that, but I told support that I wasn't going to spend until I was confident, and they reassured me that I wouldn't just get banned whenever. So it's kind of tricky. Like, we just had a lot of people migrate here, and it's not fair to them for us just to quit because we got upset something customer support did.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to say, oh, sorry, you came because you thought you had all these spenders and now we're free to play. But at the same time, you don't want to throw good money after bad in the game where you're just going to get banned because someone feels like it.
Yeah. It almost seems like to me that one of the things to do, or that could be done, especially for those that have access to VIP support, would be like, look, you're going to have to do more than just telling me. Like, you guys are going to have to put an announcement out. I wonder if anyone has asked for that. Like, there needs to be some kind of a public statement or an announcement on what happened, how are you going to fix it and correct it, and what steps are you going to take to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Like, to me, I feel like that's bare minimum from it, because I know if that happened to me, and I could tell you if I had access to VIPs, which I don't, but if I did, I could tell you, like, that's something I don't want to say demand, but that's something that I would make very clear. That is my expectation going forward, based on, because again, it's not just your kingdom, right? It's also 310, and there's some reports that I had gotten, and I haven't verified anything yet, but some people have sent me that there's some other kingdoms and players that have also been banned. So I just feel like, to me, that's bare minimum. Like, that's the starting point for you trying to get my trust back. Again, that's how I would look at it, is asking at least those things. And I only say that because there's already a precedent that has been set where they've done that before. When the NTS stuff came out and all that was concluded, a period of time after that, they came out with their kind of new fair gameplay policy, and they addressed the whole, cheating accusations and what they defined as cheating, etc. But yeah, I mean, again, we haven't seen something this big around this type of situations that have been occurring for a while. Again, the last one I recall was the big NTS one that happened. I think that was a year and a half ago at this point. So, I mean, again, this one kind of came out of left field, and the hilarious part about all this is it feels like it all started right around when Kyle from FSK in 36 wrote his message in the Gen chat about two and a half days ago, and now all of a sudden, I don't know, it feels like it's Bandgate out there. It's like the Wild West. And anyways, I guess it's kind of a long-winded little soliloquy rant, but it's just all to say that, yeah, man, I empathize with the situation. And again, if it was me, I feel like that would be my bare minimum ask going forward, just to try and get a sense of, gosh, like, I don't know, like, just recuperating emotional and financial investment of just somewhat of a little more of a feeling of a safety net. I don't know if that might be the right way to say it, but
Yeah, so I mean, the ban that I'm on, I mean, I have 12 hours to go.
Okay.
The 12 hours, I'm gonna be busy or asleep. Like, I don't care if they lift it at this point. I'd almost rather them not lift it at this point, so I don't get. Well, we're not gonna get burned at this. They're not gonna push, but
No.
I'm off the map right now. When they unban me, I'm gonna be asleep and thrown back on the map. Hopefully, in the spot I was when they took me off. It's just about going forward. And I'll kind of read you. VIP support actually hasn't messaged me back all day. It's just been the regular support that's been responding. But the thing I sent to them was, sorry for all the messages. I will summarize this one. I know you have a lot of complaints right now over these unjust ban waves. If this is your new system, it is obviously flawed. I would like to know where the bans on 513 came from. Was it a report or was it some new system you have? I would like to know which program was flagged on my account, and I would like to see the history of cheating that my account has. That was something they kept saying my account had a history of cheating.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
I said I have not cheated, used any scripts of third-party software besides LD Player 9, the emulator which I use for my farms. My main account, which you have banned, has only been on my phone and the CallofDragons desktop app. I need to be reassured that I won't be banned for no reason in the future, and at the moment, your support is adamant that I'm a cheater.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Gosh, man, yeah, it feels, I don't know, man. It to me, it feels as though this, not, I don't know if I want to say like the stuff that's happening now couldn't come at a worse time, but the fact that it feels like it all started from, as I was saying, from when Kyle had made that big post on the Gen Chat, and it's, you're thinking, okay, well, this has to be an isolated thing. Like, it's just players there that are just mass reporting. And again, regardless if 310 is cheating or not, I lean a little bit more on the side that I don't necessarily believe that every single person there, if not up to everyone there, is. But we have seen cases like this in the past before where the system was abused from people that basically mass reported, and they were able to get a number of people banned. And then when they came out with their fair play policy, it felt like they had addressed this in saying that, okay, this shouldn't be able to happen again, right? When an account gets enough reports on it, it's reviewed before any action is taken. That was always my understanding from the last announcement they put out. But clearly, based on what we're seeing now, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, with the timing of our bans, there's no way they went through each individual account and said, yeah, this one's good, this one's not good. But even once I reached out to them and said, hey, I didn't cheat, please tell me what program flagged. I said, here's the two programs. Like, this computer, all I do with it is play CallofDragons. Like, this is all I got it for Escape from Tarkov, and me and my friends are trash at it, so we're playing CallofDragons.
That's what my brother plays Escape from Tarkov. He tells me all the time he's amazing, and I tell him, I'm like, dude, you're poop. So just keep it
pushing. If I killed 2 players in this season, I'm killing it in Tarkov. But I mean, there you go. I have like 4 things on this computer. So I said it's either the emulator, it's the way I was playing, or it's the antivirus or something. Please just tell me what it is. And they just said any third-party plugin that can change the impact of the game isn't allowed. That's all they'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah, but an emulator isn't a plugin though, unless they're loosely using that as a plugin.
Yeah. So I mean, I used yesterday or 2 days ago. We were rallying the pass, and I got on 2 of my farms, which were accounts people that quit, to refill rallies with them. And it's hard to do to begin with because you're playing with a mouse on what's supposed to be like a tablet. I mean, it's not an advantage by any means. I could have used my phone instead, but I want to be on one. I didn't want to sign out my main account on my phone. But again, they won't tell me if it's the emulator. They just say you cheated, you use third-party software, you use scripts, and don't do it again.
Okay. Man, yeah, that's rough, man. I again, all I can say is I empathize. I feel for your guys, and it was the same thing for me with the Lion Group, and even with the GG and the NTS situation, you know, with those eventually getting concluded and coming to light. And I mean, it was to a point where we heard from Mark, who's the R5 there now, and he had stated that because like the situation had blown up, so much for them when the accusations came out, he told us, he said he had like basically reached out or just made kind of an open public statement to the devs, where if they wanted to come in and they wanted to take a look at, you know, anything. And he even told us, he's like, some devs joined their Discord and like they came and joined them in VCs when they were in war. They asked them to do a couple things for them so they could check, and they concluded that everything was on the up and up. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. So I guess from here, in your guys' season for Calling of Courage, how I can only imagine if something, and to be clear, if something like this had happened where the bans were issued when the pass opened or something like that, and you guys were just gone 20, like, do you feel like that would have potentially made what happened more potent, or I guess worse for you guys, if it almost would have felt like, hey, we lost a lot of territory, or we have so much to make up on now? If like, do you feel like the impact would have been that much more greater, or no, because, you know, we feel pretty confident in our team, even if that happened, yeah, it would suck, but we still would have been able to make up the ground?
So the season's kind of odd. There's 3 kind of big kingdoms in it.
Okay.
One kingdom that was pretty decent size skipped it and then knocked out another kingdom. There, to be a fair KvK, this really should be like 2v4 or one, or just free for all. But the 2 biggest alliances planned a merger the first day of the KvK. And so, I mean, we knew we weren't going to win the Dragon. We planned on this really being our kind of big hoorah right here on the 4th pass. And we did so well on the 4th pass, we're probably going to try to push into the 5th and just see what happens. But we're 2 billion power. We were a 5 billion clan, and the other 2 clans were 7 billion. So, and we lost to the other 7 billion clan last season. We know we can't beat 14 billion power by ourselves. But again, like if we get banned again here on pass 5, then yeah, that would be the most devastating thing.
Okay.
If when pass 5 opens, oh hey, guess what? This people that are out for 1 day, they're now out for 3 days. But again, the pass 4 didn't really matter. Like we could just pull it back, but people would have gotten probably would have gotten burned, and we would have lost troops and resources and stuff like that. I mean, I missed a statue today, so now I'm probably not going to get my points for my 15 golden heads. Little stuff like that. But the main thing for me is just it being fixed in the future. Like I want to be able to play without worrying that I'm going to get perma-banned over something I'm not doing.
Okay. Oh boy. Well, Ransom, listen, man, thank you so much for taking some time out of your guys' KvK just to come and give us an update on the situation, a little bit of a 411 download, so that way we could at least be informed of another, or I should say yet another situation like this with more bans being issued. Because again, listen, if anything, I'm just happy to shed some light on it and to hopefully bring a little bit more of awareness out there, because like for me at least, I very much enjoy and I love covering kingdoms in almost any number of different ways and facets that we can talk about them in. And, you know, for me, being able to cover what's happening in the community, I think is really important. And especially when things like this come up, which isn't to say at all that we are in any way, shape, or form advocating for such actions to be taken. But I think it is important to have some kind of a historical reference and to bring these things to light and to the forward or the forefront of conversation. So that way, and again, if there's a dev or someone from the CC team that was listening in on our stream yesterday or today, right, even on the off chance, being able to hear the feedback from the players like yourself, like with Mark when we interviewed him from NTS, like others, when we had interviewed someone from the Lion, from 310, part of Lion, and telling us how they felt about the situation. To me, these are the things that the COD team needs to hear. Like they need to hear the emotion, the sense of urgency, the demotivation, the deflation of just their levels of engagement. And again, what feels like sometimes is the one thing, sadly, that moves mountains is the bottom line. And, when you start hearing about people saying that, like, look, I'm a little cautious now about potentially spending, or, maybe I won't spend anymore, or listen, if this happens again, or God forbid it happened during a main objective where, we ended up getting a ban for either 24 or longer than that, who knows what would happen at that point. So if anything, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on and talking to us and sharing your side for, what's happened so far and just kind of breaking that down for us.
Well, I appreciate you giving coverage to it and looking out for 310, and hopefully, down the road, hopefully it's comes to light that it was a false ban wave like it was in the past. But the real problem is that you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent in this stuff. And they're banning you for 24 hours, and then they're logging off and going to their downtime and not talking for 14 hours or something.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely. Before I let you go, I always ask everyone that comes on, but any shout outs, declarations, or shots you'd like to fire off?
I'll pass today. I appreciate it.
Okay, touche. No worries. Thanks, Ransom. I appreciate you, man. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, you too, bud.
All right, fam. So again, so that was for those of you just joining, that was Ransom from I believe LE/LA, but from Kingdom 513, right? One of the officers there, and essentially just summarized what happened with the ban waves, went into some of the details about the people that were banned, the time splits between the first and the last person banned. And yeah, what, again, as he states, saying, I'm innocent, haven't done anything wrong. And the rest of the players there, with the exception of one, where they said that, hey, listen, one person was using a farming script just to do farming, which again, I understand, but as I've stated before, I don't view that as being as egregious as doing something that is, impacting PvP play, so to speak, which isn't to take away from it at all, because again, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. But you see the amount of people that were banned. And again, like we said, this was something that happened in 310. We covered this yesterday. And now today, we have many players, right? I think they said about 30 or so people in 513, along with the 30 plus. I think the highest number we saw from 310 yesterday was 90, or sorry, about 70, about 70 people. So it's like 30 plus people in one kingdom yesterday, 30 plus people in a kingdom today. It's just like, man, what is going on? And like I said, the fact that it's happened now in at least two kingdoms that we know about, part of me feels like, man, they're going to have to say something now. Like they're going to have to address this. We're going to need to see an announcement, something from the COD team, because what they addressed last time now is not good enough, respectfully and objectively. You can't sit there and tell anyone now that like that's good enough when you basically told us the last time that things like these were not going to happen. And I'm saying that under the guise of that, again, I very much believe after we've talked to these people that you can't sit there and tell me that every single person that you banned was legitimately banned because they were cheating. Now, again, some people have stated things like false positives. We've heard that already. I believe that could be the case with a number, maybe even up to all. And maybe it's something in the system with their detection, and maybe it's detecting something that is coming back as what they define as a cheat, but it's really not. Maybe that's just something where they need to work with the people that they banned and figure out what's happening. Like basically take what Mark told us they did with NTS, right? Where you had the devs came in and they spoke to people, because this has to be like, this is not a difficult thing, right? Even if even if you detect something before you issue the ban, why not reach out to people? I understand you may not have thousands of people at your disposal to go and reach out to every single time something is detected, but you can't sit there and tell me you can't reach out to a handful of players and say, listen, our system detected this. Can I ask you a couple questions? Do you run anything? Are you willing to do a screen share with us and show us something like your task manager, right, for what you're running, for what it could be? And just try to develop, investigate, look for trends, look for similarities. I'm just saying, like, that you can't sit there and tell me that that's not doable. So again, like, listen, man, everyone knows I've been the biggest proponent for Call of Dragons. Even though these things are happening, it sucks to see it happen. It's not like I'm going to stop playing the game. I love COD, right? Like there would have to be so many more egregious things to happen before I would maybe potentially consider something like that. But as long as they do right, and they take steps to correct it, again, regardless of any potential damage already caused, whether that's temporary or permanent, I'm okay with that. But if they don't come out and say something, and if they don't come out and try and address this or try to make fixes and publicly acknowledge that, like, I don't know, like that I think would leave a little bit of a sour taste, I have to imagine, in other people's mouths, but definitely in mine. Yeah. And Baker, that's a good point. Guns was banned for 3 days. Yeah, we saw the screenshot. I don't know if I still have it up too. Oh no, I don't have it up anymore. But yeah, man. I mean, and that's the thing. And Guns even reached out to us, and he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, I stream 90% of the time. You know, he's like, I put content out, but most of it's streaming. It's like they would have been able to see that. I mean, if Guns isn't exhibit A through Z all in and of himself, of that, you know, it's like, and yeah, like, I don't think anyone would look at Guns and say, like, oh yeah, dude, he's just dead arse cheater over here just scripting his life away. No. So I feel like Guns is probably the best example you can use of, like, look, dude, you got it wrong. And it's just a matter of recognizing you got it wrong and coming up with a game plan to fix it, and then acknowledging that and addressing it publicly. Like, to me, that would be my expectation as of now going forward. So yeah, this absolutely sucks to see this happen now in what is a second kingdom. And I can only imagine if I end up hearing from I can only imagine if I end up hearing from other people. I thought I'm level 7 here. Never mind. All right, whatever. Bunch of haters. I was gonna say, I can only imagine if we start hearing from other kingdoms that, like, if other kingdoms reach out to me and they say, listen, boss, we're being banned too. It's just, what happens if this keeps up? I hope not. I pray that doesn't happen. Susanna, what's up? She says, honestly, we are fined because they just took a tower, but I could have been away more, and that could have been another story. Oh, I see. Yeah. Cringelord says, I'm an ex-player of 513. I know a lot of good players there who are 100% legit and still got hit with a ban. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Fit brings up a good point there, where it's like, man, some people just can't. Dude, the Kyle memes are coming out in chat. Oh my god, that's funny. Remember to poop, dude. I need to poop. I'm gonna be honest, man. Dude, I love hitting a solid number 2, man. Especially when it's just, you know what I mean. Who even knows what we're saying? But yeah, it's just Yeah, I think. Well, again, where Sakira's way guns got banned. Yeah, man, do got Banskid. Banskid up the wazoo. And it was. I'll tell you right now, it wasn't a good look. Not a beautiful look. I will tell you that. You all are the. What is it? Okay, I don't even know what's happening now in this chat. Lol mob. MMG, WTF, what he did to get banned. Again, from what Gunn said to us is that he didn't do anything. It was just a random ban that was issued. I believe some reports were coming out that he probably was mass reported by some people, but nothing legitimate. That's what he had said to us, I believe, yesterday. Yeah. Okay, fam. So give me a minute or two. I gotta go tinkle. When I come back, we are gonna go through, because this is something I still want to do, because like I said, there's some massive wars that are going to be happening out of Gen 2 and some of the other KvKs. So I want to update our sheet so we can figure out when like the next pass openings are going to be happening. And if we end up hearing about any other kingdom situations that are happening, then again, we might go investigate and take a look over there if there's any other storylines that pop up, even if it's not something ban related. But I do want to cover, and like I said, I want to update and figure out when these massive wars are going to be happening for these pass openings, because again, I'm hoping I'm going to be trying to cover some of these as well. Bezzy says, you missed the death rally Saturday night. Oh, really? Did you let me know? Did someone let me know when I missed it? Let me know. Give me a sec. Let me tinkle. I'll be RBZ. All right, we're back. Oh boy. Okay, we made it. Whew, that was intense. All right, let me get some jams going, and then we are going to get our Sherlock Holmes and Watson investigativeness on here in a moment. Betsy said, I sent you the report from Death Rally in game. You did? Let me see. Is this him? Damn! 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 Oh my god. Jeez. This lasted 3 hours and what, 10 minutes? Oh my gosh. This is absolutely nuts. $1.5 million units. 51.5 million units. Jeez. 10.5 mil deaths, 12.5 mil, 12.6. Wow. Remaining 125K. Jeez. Damn. Is that 4? I can't tell if that's 4.0 or 4.8. Maybe it's because that's an 8 over there. So 4 mil XP, 11.8 mil merits. Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah. Then these are just the individuals. Dude, that is nuts. Oh, that's cool. I could have done that to see. Does it? I wonder if it gave. Dude, oh my gosh! Looking at the report, crashed my instance. Jeez. That report cost Esticare. That report cost several months of training. Yeah, dude. It also costed me my damn instance that I got to restart now. Oh my gosh. Jeez. How kind. Thank you so much. Where am I? 1690. Yeah, let me go up a little more. Let me see if I can come back here to this one. Yeah. Can anyone else see on my screen? And you have to let me know if anyone else can see on my screen, like below right here. Do you see some text? Or am I just crazy? It's like a little transparent or faded. Does anyone see that? Okay. So you can. Okay. Yeah, man. I've been trying to work with not the OBS team, but I think like Stream Elements or whatnot to like try and get them to fix this. Like, so it pops up and like now randomly all of a sudden it's coming up, which is it's not. Yeah, it does look like it's going too. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I've been trying to fix that, and it's just so funny that all of a sudden today it's, I don't even know, somewhat working. Anyways, I digress. Okay. Oh, sorry, Chris says, do you have some VODs of this war? Fine. Sorry, which war? You mean the war for this KvK? Oh, sorry. Kesher says, anyway, NASTi, I don't know if you got my point. If something like that happens to guns even multiple times through contacts, he will get unbanned. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could argue with that as far as, you know, if Guns reaches out to probably our CC team or something like that, yeah, is there a chance that he would get unbanned probably faster than others? Or possibly. I could see that. Yeah, I see where you're going with that, with your point. But for like normal people, you might end up with a permaban, or yeah, or possibly a ban long enough, yeah, and then you're saying losing money, yeah, because they let you completely alone. Yeah, absolutely. Check my, yeah. Oh, Clev. Don't like these. Uh-oh. I'm scared to click on that. Floppa says Guns face as a gift. Oh, he saw this too? Okay. Unless this is a different one? Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, he named a lizard. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's not a bad lizard. I see what you did there. And I cosign. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What do we need to do next? Which is, yeah. So we need to go through, and I need to look at pass opening times for these massive war for some of these Zone 3 wars that are going to be coming up. So we're going to spend a little bit of time doing that right now. And like I said, if anything else pops up from now until then we will be sure to go and take a look. But I do want to go through and I want to look at some of these real quick. So I need to start with 60 because I need to confirm and check on when their stuff's going to be happening. Oh, Justin, don't forget about Arcade 5. Yeah, man, I'll have to check on that. I know I'm going through all the KvKs. I'm just starting with the G2 Winners Upon Us ones real quick because I want to update those first. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So we got. I gotta scroll up for this one. Jeez. Yeah, that's not it. There we go. So oh wow, dude. So yeah, man. So level 3 pass for them opened already. Why did I not? Huh, interesting. Whoa. What's going on with my timing here? Oh, my bad. That was level 2. Why do I have... Huh. That's weird. I feel like I have this wrong for what I'm looking at here. Oh, level 2 passes. Oh, I must have got that mixed up then. There we go. So that was statue. I'm tripping. Okay. There we go. That was so weird. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, wow, what is going on? Okay, so that should be 10. I think that should be. So statue's already open, which should be great deeds. Yep, level 2 pass. And then we got... This is so weird. So I got secrets, which is 4. That's right. Great deeds, statue. And then silent calibration, level 3 pass. Okay, but it's number... Okay, I guess I just have to change this. It's so weird. I thought I had all this down right the first time. All right, there we go. So we got what? We got a day on that and then a day here. So I guess 2-day check. So I'll just say check 528. Okay, so we got time there. I bet you that's probably the case for the others too. Huh? Yeah, let's double check. If it is, I'll just put that down. Then I'll just come back and check these on 528. Next one I got to do is 5. I think that's going to be the case though. That's what it's feeling like. But I got to correct this real quick. And then this is silent calibration. Oh, sorry, celebration. Yep. And then, all right, cool. All right, so yeah, I'm just going to add this in real quick and just do a check 528. Cool. All right, I'm going to add this in on here. So I think we're pretty good then for what we need on that group. Chill, no worries, man. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's see. I know what we can do for a moment. Because I already have these down. So... Ooh, is it a little tussle? Okay. Nice. Let's get a little tussle in real quick while I go ahead and just update this for a moment. And then after this, we can go and look at the other groups so we can get an update on them too as well. So, but 20 is not bad because that's Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Zone 3 is going to open, so that could give me 2 or 3 days to stream, which could be nice. I could do this faster too. Betsy, yeah, man. Take care. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Oops. Always nice to see a little bit of PvP action before some of the main events start. All right, nice. We're on the last one. And we should be able to go and start checking the rest now. Whew, all right. Let's see who else we got now. So we got to go check 34. Okay, here we go. We got to go check 14 now. Oh. So 14, this is going to be SOS 13059 for Calling of Courage. And I think I was supposed to check this yesterday for them, I believe. So let's take a look here, because their zone 3, I believe, was going to be opening. And it should have been Great Deeds. Yeah. Which would have been, I believe, was that level 2 pass? Yeah. Okay. So let's check 14 real quick. And we can see if the timer started or if they're already in. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it just opened. Okay. Cool. So let's do opened. And let's see if it must have just opened a little while ago. Okay, no one's attempting there. So they're going in to... Oh, is this the free one? I think so. Oh, so maybe there's not going to be any action. I always forget on this one for Calling of Courage. So they're going to get into their zone 2, but they won't see any action until the level 4 pass is open on the crosses. So it's basically a free zone 2. Okay. Okay. So yeah, first action will be at one of the level 4 passes once those open. Okay, so that's basically what we need to figure out then. So that's, yeah. Zone 3 doesn't do anything for us. So yeah, we want to wait till the cross zone 3 is open, which is going to be, I think that's Salvation. It should be. Yeah. Damn. So we're a minute away, man. Oh my God. So we got how much on this list? A day, 1. So that's 2, 4, 6. Damn. 8, 9. Oh my gosh. 11 days until we're gonna. I mean, you'll still get the statue, but that's 11 days. Wow. So 5 plus 6. So we're talking June 6. Jeez. All right. It's a little rough-ski. All right, let's go check 48. Because that is SOS 158. So that's the KvK before this group. Yeah, Tippy, what's up? Sorry, Tippy said, what happened about 513? So, yeah, so we covered 513 already. I'm probably going to do a solo video on it from the conversation that we had with Ransom from 513, where he gave us basically the full deep dive in the 411 on what was happening there. TLDR at the moment, at least until I get that video out, will be he stated that about 30 players were banned, mixture of top and low powered players. Happened a few days after a pass opened. Still don't know the reasons why. Right, it seems like it was either a mass report or possibly a targeted ban. And then there was one player that did say they were using a farming script to farm resources, but nothing PvP related. And everyone else at this time is claiming that they weren't using any cheats at all. So okay, so I think we're about the same timeline here. So salvation is what we want. Okay, so now we're going to go to 55. That's going to be the next group we'll check. So this is calling encouragement. This is SOS 13057. We're going to check now. So this is 4 kingdoms. The two that we just looked at had about 12 plus kingdoms in them. So these are probably a little bit of stronger groups too. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be the same. Yeah, I usually try and do this every couple days, just because it helps me stay on top of, you know, any kind of events or things or any events or objectives that are going to be opening up. So this is important to do, especially for me, at least content-wise, right? If I want to cover wars or statues or supreme statues or final zone openings, it's nice to be able to know, especially because I can plan accordingly. This is like one of those things you still just kind of have to look up the good old-fashioned manual way for the most part. Okay, so this will be the same for salvation here, which is, again, it's nice to know that everything is pretty much the same. All right, next group, we're going to go to 18. And this is going to be calling a courage, SOS 13055 that we're going to take a look at. So, yep, okay, so that's going to be the same. Nice. Tell you, man, this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited. Some people are like, wait, boss, you're getting excited just from knowing dates of when things are going to open? Hell yeah, I'm excited. Why? Because that tells me what I need to be on. What I need to cover, the hype that we can build. Man, if that ain't exciting, what is? Aside from just, hanging out with the fam, of course. Yeah. Oh, for some of you who might have been wondering, I ended up doing the I ended up doing the Murph yesterday. This morning. Yeah. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, I think this is it. Yeah, and I'll show you guys this. So I did this today. Yeah. Also, Christian, thank you so much for the sub. It means a lot. I appreciate you. I'm going to throw some confetti in the chat because it's free and I love it. So I did this today, right? I mean, some of you know I've been on like this fitness grind for the past month and a half, and we've been going pretty much every day. I don't have the kids, with the exception of Mondays that I'll still go even when I have them. Well, we'll have to see how that works out now because they're out of school. But yeah, I've been on this and usually I'm doing stuff to modify while I'm at home with them. So kind of I'll work out while they're all eating after I get them food. But I ended up doing this workout today. This is the first time I did this. I've been going to I've been going to this thing for this CrossFit gym for about a month and a half now, maybe almost 2 months. And they were doing this Murph thing. They said, hey, we're going to do this Murph thing today on Memorial Day. And so it's we did the mile run first, which is 3 laps around our facility that they calculated. And it's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, then another mile run, right? And you can break it up however you want. So what I did is I did 100 push-ups first, then I did 100 squats, I did 50 pull-ups, and then I went back and did 100 squats. I did 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and then I finished my pull-ups. Some people, I guess, do it in increments where they were saying you could do 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 squats, and then you rotate. You just do 10 rounds or 10 sets of that. I may try that next time because I'll tell you right now, I finished, but out of, I don't know, the 20 or 25 people that were there, I finished last, which to me doesn't matter because I'm just happy that I was able to finish it. But yeah, man, it was pretty nuts. But it was a fun time. Absolutely a fun time. But yeah, so I'll have to see if I can find you guys a picture. I don't know. Let me see if I have one real quick. All right, yeah, let me see what we got here. Because yeah, they took a pic of me when I was there. Oh yeah, dude, this one is so. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you guys this one. This one's gravy. Oh gosh, how do I? Hang on, man. I'll show. Let me. Yeah, I'll show you guys this. Let me send it to my thing. What is it? Oh. Okay, cool. Yo, I just said I'm gonna show you guys this pic from me after. Dude, you guys are gonna love the shirt I'm wearing. If this doesn't give you an absolute banger of a laugh, I don't know what will. Because again, I'm the type when like I go to work out, I wear like these funny shirts. Here, I'll show you guys, man. Where is it? Here we go. All right, dude. Here you guys go, man. This is your boy. This is your boy in all his glory. Right now, tell me that shirt is not popping. Right. This is after I finish. Like I am dead at this point. But this is the thing, man. Like I go and I look for these like funny humorous workout shirts, and I wear a different one each time I go. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. I thought, and I usually buy them a little bigger, but yeah, man. I thought this was absolutely hilarious. So, and if you don't, then forget you. All right. Anyways, let's continue. let's continue being semi-serious. Let's see here what I got. Okay, salvation. I'm still good there. That was 45, right? Yeah. You know, I felt it was appropriate to wear that shirt because of the workout that we were doing that day. I was like, this feels right. All right, we got I think we got a decent number of kingdoms to keep going through here, so we can see. Chest. Okay, we're still there. Salvation. Nice. Okay, we gotta check 2. Oh, now I'm getting into Winter is Upon Us. So we're back to Winter is Upon Us. Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, they're cross zone 3. Oh, no, there's zone 2 to zone 3. Okay, cross zone 3 has an open jet. Wow. I feel pretty good. Maybe I didn't miss this because I write all this stuff down. I need to start highlighting the ones that are coming up. That's what I need to start doing on my sheet. Just so that way I feel like I can keep track of everything. Ugh. Oh, look at that, dude. So the cross zone 3 for level 6 pass opens tomorrow. Ooh, nice. This is one we can cover. Oh, no, sorry. It's not going to be tomorrow. I need to time this out. What is it? Yeah. Hang on, I got to figure that. So a day... One day from now would be 537 minus 1. Okay, so 1:56 p.m. and then the 12 hours. Okay, so I'm looking at 1:56 a.m. Oh gosh, that opening time is so rough. So I think this is 1:56 a.m. East on. So a day is 27. So that'd be 28. Okay, awesome. We got that timing down though. That's important. All right, cool. Let's look at 1. This should be Winners Upon Us 4032 for this group. Yep. Yep, it's going down. All right, so this is going to be same thing. This would be the 28th. Nice. Yeah, wow. These actually go pretty fast once you like know just the standard opening times. We can like really move through this. So I'm going to go to Kingdom 9 now. Yeah, we'll just do a quick check on this. This should be the 28th. Salvation, yep, 20 minutes. Nice. So we'll do, I think this is 38 next. This is 4030 for Winners Upon Us on Season of Strife. This one should be a little bit, yeah, later. There we go. Yeah, it's 528. Nice. So this will be 36. Ooh, this could be the 27th. Nice. Maybe. Yeah. Nice. Wow. So this is tomorrow. So this one is tomorrow for their Cross Zone 3. Sweet. I'm going to highlight this so I don't forget. You know what I'm going to do? Highlight? Oh, that's okay. We'll just highlight. Keep it simple. And then Kingdom 6, we got to look at. Yeah, because their Cross Zone 3 opened up 2 days ago. Oof. So they're on FZ, I think, soon here. Oh, look at that, dude. There we go. Swords into Plowshares. So. Oh, I can actually figure this out. So it should be. So we got 2 days. That's going to be the 28th. So 29. Nice. Let's go to Kingdom 39 next. Nova. Nice. I think we got a couple left. So we definitely got some action happening soon, which is nice. So, yep. So their final zone. Let's see here. So 2 days, 28. So yeah, that's 29 too. At 8. All right, good. And then we're going to 23. Yep. So that's good. Oh, damn. Now I got to go to 489. Geez, that is a massive swing. So nice, dude. Timing is solid. So 41 is the next group. This is 3048 in COC for the SOS season. And then, okay, yeah, looking good there. So that'll be the 29th. Yep, 2 days, 2 hours. Nice. I think we're done. Huh, let me see. Oh. No, I forgot about the Rise of the Dragon. Forgot about the Rise of the Dragon groups. We're almost done. Almost done. Yeah, we just got a couple ROTDs, which is the Rise of the Dragon group. Oh, theirs I think is actually pretty much done. I might have to check these because their KvK season ends on 5:30. So I actually think we're good. I don't have to check these ones. I might have to do this little tutorial real quick, but I'm just double checking the end times here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to check these, so we're actually done. Wow. Look at that. Awesome. Yeah. So that's all Season of Strife. What I do want to check real quick is just to make sure there's no new ones at the moment. Oh, I guess there will be once the batch went in, right? Because weren't they in Brink of War, the pre-war group? And I can't remember the kingdom numbers. I have to check real quick on that one. That might be the last thing I need to check on. Dear Lord, that took a minute. Let me see. Season pre-war. Oh, they're still there. Let me check on some of these. Can I check on one of these? How about Kingdom 4? Where are they at? Because I think we're pretty good on everyone that has. Yeah, I think we're pretty good on everyone that's moved here so far. Oh, so see, their registration is 5:31. So that starts in 5 days. Let me check and see if anyone new has come. Let me see, 37. Nope, so no one new for ROTD. We know it ends at 52 and it goes to 29, so we're good there. COC. Oh, these ones might be new. Okay. Let me see real quick. COC 50. Yeah. Okay. So these are the new ones, which is COC 60. Okay, these are the ones I'm going to have to write down now. Yeah, but I'll probably maybe I'll do that later. I just want to fill in just a few of them real quick. So SOS 1 3060. And this is COC. Kingdoms 32. We'll do this in order. 308. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to figure out what their start time is, but we can do that here in a sec. So, oh wow, this one actually has a lot more now. Okay, this one has the same. Maybe it's not that bad. I thought the number of kingdoms in this third group would have gone up a little bit more. Well, okay, last group definitely went up a bit. Jeez. Oops. Cool. Only thing I probably want to look at is just what their start and end is. What their start and end times are for the season. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess if they have that information available, they may not. But we could take a look and check. And of course, because I haven't been here for a minute, yeah. Sure, why not? Oh, this is interesting. So they populated them into the KvK before Brink of... Oh, I'm tripping. That was because of the update change that they said going forward, Brink of War would be at the start of the season, not at the end. Okay. But that's just wild that it says like season begins 5:30. I guess that means I have to wait now, right? Yeah, so that means I actually have to wait. I won't be able to find the start and the end times. Okay, sad life. Sad life. What can I say, man? It happens to the best of us. Okay, but we at least know I can at least do start, and I can do 5:30. There we go. So we got 528 checks. Yeah, we've gone through all the SOS KvKs. So zone 3s. Yeah, we got some 520. I'm going to be excited for those. And then... Six sixes? Oh, God. Yeah, it's going to be rough. But we know we got the cross zone 3s for some of the Winter is Upon Us groups on the 28th. So that's only 2 days away until we see some action there. And then tomorrow we got action. Tomorrow we might have some action, right? So again, we'll be streaming a cross zone 3 opening tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be getting, hopefully once tomorrow hits and then on the 28th, 29th, hopefully the next couple of days we'll actually be able to stream you guys a bunch of war, which I'm really excited about. However, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and start to round out. Man, another great stream today. So much fun that I've been having just covering a lot of the KvK news that's been going on around the game right now, along with being able to get some of these interviews in, to get having some great conversations with people. And for me, I appreciate those of you that like hanging out and vibing with us and being able to tune into just some different coverage on the game that, you know, might not just be kind of, you know, wartime for the most part, even though I also understand that usually war is going to be some of the most intriguing and enticing pieces of content for watching live. It's nice to see that people also care to watch and to kind of be, at least tune in for what's happening around the community and around the game. So, you know, as always, I love to cover a lot of different types and diversify the areas of the game that we cover. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As always, if it is morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And if you do want to get access to the Discord, you want to get notified when we go live, when we have new content, you can join the Discord. A link to that is going to be on the pinned post or pinned comment on the live chat. You just have to look at the very top and you'll see a link to the Discord there. That is it for me today. Y'all take care, and we will catch you in the next one.